Kansas State quarterback Michael Bishop may be the best one-man show in college football. With the pass, or the Bishop can checkmate you with the run. Texas A&M stands in the way of Kansas State's title drive. The Wrecking Crew is ready to steal away any hopes of a national championship. You are looking live at the famous arch alongside the mighty Mississippi in St. Louis. Today in the Trans World Dome, more than 65,000 will watch the Dr. Pepper Big 12 Championship. The unbeaten Wildcats of Kansas State taking on Texas A&M. And the BCS computer standings underline the importance. K-State must climb to 1 or 2 to make the Title Bowl. 2 other unbeatens are in the mix and playing today in the Hurricane Bowl. In the second half right now, UCLA leading Miami by 10 points. And tonight in Atlanta, Tennessee will take on Mississippi State here on ABC. Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Brent Musburger. Welcome to Decision Day. We are here for the Dr. Pepper Big 12 Championship. Make no mistake about it. Kansas State comes in here ready to make a statement. Texas A&M is coming off a tough loss. Let's turn to my colleague Dan Fouts right now, because Dan, the Aggies are also beat up coming into this game.
Brent, they found out on Wednesday their starting quarterback, Randy McCown, broke his collarbone in the Texas game. He's out. That means Brandon Stewart will be the quarterback today, and that may be good news for the Aggies, because they have to throw the ball against probably the only weakness in the K-State defense. That's the cornerbacks. Speaking of K-State, they have the most exciting quarterback in college football. Michael Bishop has a great arm. He runs with the power of a fullback and the moves of a tailback. I love to watch him, Brent.
The miracle worker at Kansas State, Coach Bill Snyder. Since he took over 10 years ago, they've won as many games at the school as they did in the previous 30 years. Today, he'll attempt to wake up the BCS computers.
Burger King update. UCLA's defense bending but not breaking in the second half. As for Miami, they've got to find a way to stop Cade McNown. Airs it out again. 59 yards to Brian Melsby. He has 342 yards passing and 5 touchdowns. Played his first game ever against Miami. Looking good today as well, Brent.
So, John, now it is up to Kansas State coming to bat. And let's go talk to Jack Arute, who is with the Texas A&M coach, R.C. Slocum. Jack?
Coach, how did the loss of Randy affect your preparations?
Well, we really didn't have much time to adjust to it, so we went over the same game plan. We really didn't change anything.
Now, who's going to serve as the backup to Brandon?
Shane Leckler.
Hey, guys, the punter is the backup.
Well, first things first here. Martin Gramatica out of Argentina. Ladies and gentlemen, if you haven't seen his leg, welcome to the big time. If the Aggies get a return, it'll be an upset. Hello, touchback. So Brandon Stewart, 19-10 as a starting quarterback. And Dan Fouts asked him, what message are you going to send to your teammates when you step down in that huddle for the first time?
I just want them to know that there's not going to be a drop-off of performance. I want to go out and win a football game. I'm going to do my best to do that. I've played with those guys before, and they know that. And they know what I can do, they know what Randy can do, and they know we both can be successful. And I just want them to have the confidence that I'm going to go out there and play my best game so far.
Stewart comes up behind his center, Seth McKinney, for the first play of this Dr. Pepper Big 12 Championship. Throw, hit on the release, McIntosh on him, incomplete, intended for Chris Cole. The Dr. Pepper starting lineups, and Stewart at quarterback. You will see Sir Parker also at running back. Now the wideouts. Chris Cole, can they get him going? They tried on first down. Can they get a rhythm with the wideout? Samisi Haimuli is their best offensive guard. If it's 3rd and 1, Haimuli saddles up on the right side for the Aggies. Now coming to work against a defense that has given up only 11 points a game as an average. And you saw pressure, enormous pressure on Stewart. 2nd down and 10. Dante Hall cut back beautifully in the carpet. There's that Aggie speed, and he picks up 8 and almost 9 yards before Mark Simoneau makes the stop. Now, we mentioned this defense, coached by Mike Stoops, brother of Bob, the new head coach at Oklahoma. Folks, Darren Howard, no pub, but I want to tell you right now, number 49 out of St. Petersburg's a big-timer. Simoneau and Kelly, two outstanding linebackers. Secondary has been juggled. They had to get help. Gerald Niesman is healthy. He's on one corner. Jeremetrius Butler on the other. If there's any shaky part about this defense, it is back there in the secondary. Coming up now for 3rd and 1. They gave him 9 yards on that run, and it was a beautiful cutback by Dante Hall. Aggies love a carpet. They think it'll help their quickness here today. Toombs, the freshman fullback, for the first down. Barrels right straight ahead, the 263-pounder.
Great start for the Aggies. Remember, last Friday, they played Texas, and they only had negative 7 yards rushing in that game. So to come out here and in their first 2 running plays to pick up 10 yards, that's a good start. Of course, they are a lot quicker on the carpet. They had problems with their footing at Austin against the Longhorns.
Wildcat fans keeping one eye on the UCLA game in Miami. Not spitting the bit yet. Back to within 10. It has been at Donnybrook. Down at the Orange Bowl. First down and 10. And timeout is called by Stewart. So we will take a break here at the Dr. Pepper Big 12 Championship game. Decision Saturday, John. So many great things ahead of us here for the Aggies. Their first series. Backup quarterback Brandon Stewart, who has replaced the injured Randy McCown on first down. Daylight, long, incomplete, overthrew Chris Cole. Now here is how they lost Randy McCown last Friday against Texas. Watch Dusty Renfro. This for the touchdown, and after the extra point, it was the Aggies taking the lead as McCown breaks into the end zone. And then throwing the pass in practice Wednesday, the fracture was revealed. Let's go down below.
Well, the problem, though, you didn't discover the problem, Randy, until what, on Wednesday when you threw the ball hard?
Yeah, it was on Wednesday. You know, I kind of felt some pain up until then, and then I really tried to let one go in practice. Nothing to hurt.
Let's watch this play.
There's the handoff again to Dante Hall, sprinting to Daylight. It looks like they can get a running game going with Dante, and let's go back down to Jet.
Now, Randy, the last thing that you said to Brandon when he came out on the field, what was it?
It's just to relax and go out there and have fun. You know, he's got to be the leader out there, and if he's relaxed and having a good time and focused in on what he's doing, the other guys are going to feed off that. And so I think he's done a good job of that so far, and I think if he keeps doing that, we'll be all right.
Brent, they say leadership is critical for the Texas Aggies today.
And another part of that, Jack, is the running ability of McCown on the option. A lot better than Brandon Stewart. That could hurt the Aggies today.
3rd and 2. Interesting call here for RC and the staff. And they keep it on the ground with Toombs again, who is stacked up and did not get the first down. So they sent in 2 wide receivers as substitutes, trying to stretch out the K-State defense when they were unable to do it. And that means, as Darren Howard steps in to make the big play, that the Aggies will send Shane Leckler onto the field, and it sets up one of the great matchups of this game, because there, ladies and gentlemen, is David Allen, who has returned 4 punts for touchdowns this season, 3 in consecutive games. And Leckler, one of the finest punters in college football. Bad snap, handled it very well, off the side of the foot, and the Aggies don't care. Out of bounds, they kept it out of Allen's hands. So when we come back, you will see the Bishop with his first possession. Timeout. 46-1 as a starting quarterback, and they open with him back in the shotgun, where he is extremely dangerous. And this is what he does as well as any quarterback in the country. Taking off and then carrying 3 defenders with him for a first down. And Dan asked Michael, what does the offense have to do to win this game?
If we can come in and, have ball control and not turn it over, no interceptions, our defense is going to play well. There's no doubt about that. And our special team is going to pick up the slack if we need any. But, as far as the offense, I think the main key is for us is to, pick up the blitz, move the ball up and down the field and keep the clock running. And, you know, if we put points on the board, then our defense is going to come out and do a great job.
6'1", 205 pounds, the senior from Willis, Texas. And here is Hickson, who has returned to the lineup today, sprinting outside for 4 yards. So Eric Hickson, the senior, slowed by an injury, the all-time rushing leader from Fort Lauderdale. Carries the ball. Aaron Lockett, the speedster, and that is Kevin's brother. Darnell McDonald, the tall wide receiver. Ryan Young, big time left tackle from right here in St. Louis. So it's a homecoming for him, and it is 2nd down and 5 officially as McDonald steps to the outside. It is the 3 wide out package. Here's Lockett with all that speed. Soft corner, 1st down, 49-yard line. Bishop just looks up, Dan, and sees that his fastest wide receiver is uncovered, and he just put the ball right in his hand.
That's senior leadership by Michael Bishop, having an understanding of the defense, but also the ability to communicate with his wide receiver. I didn't hear him call any signal. As you said, Brent, I think he just saw that Lockett was uncovered. And when you got a guy that runs a 4.25, as Lockett does, man, get him the ball in space, and you got yourself a 1st down.
So Kansas State fans ready for a big explosion today. Win here and then get help from perhaps Miami staying alive. And here's Bishop's 2nd run of the game, and he's going to be tossed for a loss by Royland Bradley, the sophomore outside linebacker. This is what the Aggies do well, is run on the flank. And Ron Edwards at noseman. There'll be a 6-man rotation, and Edwards played well against Texas. He'll try to do the same. And of course, the great one, 500 career tackles for Dat Win. Brandon Jennings, an interception against the Longhorns. Jason Webster and Cedric Curry back there in the corners.
Dat had 20 tackles against K-State last year, so he knows this offense intimately.
And into the game comes Frank Murphy, and they spread him out as a slot man option look. Bishop sprints down that side, and then he put it into Hickson's hands, and he is run out of bounds. And the Aggies, with a fine defensive look on this series, that's their other outside linebacker, Warwick Holdman, demonstrating speed. Dan, this is a different looking team on the carpet than they were in Austin, Texas on that slippery grass.
Well, we talked about the problem that they had with the field there at Austin, that they were slipping around a little bit, but obviously the traction here on an AstroTurf field is so exact, and the speed of the Aggie linebackers is giving K-State problems right now.
Michael Jamison into the game as the nickel man in this coverage, and here's Bishop going to set the screen. Here's Hickson, gets a beautiful block, but Hickson dives toward the 1st down. The spot will determine it, and he looks to be less than a yard short. Now let's see what Snyder decides.
Really a fine screen set up by Bishop. Watch as he hesitates a little bit, draws the defensive line towards him, and now Hickson has a convoy out in front. Good pursuit by the Aggies, and they keep Hickson about 6 inches short of that 1st down.
They will go. And wouldn't you, if Michael Bishop was your quarterback? 4th down and 1. Here it is to Hickson, sprinting for the 1st down before he is belted out of bounds by Brandon Jennings, the junior free safety.
And one of the smallest men on the field got the key block on the outside. Aaron Lockett working against Jason Webster. When Bishop pitched the ball back to Hickson, Lockett made this block, and that allowed Hickson to just barely pick up that 1st down. 5'7", 155 pounds of redshirt freshman.
Here's Bishop, short drop. Now he pulls back deeper, waiting for someone to clear. Lockett well covered. Back to the other side doing fumble. Loose ball. Aggies got it. Recovered at the 23-yard line by Jason Webster, number 39. Justin Swift turns it over.
And Warwick Holdman's the man who pops it loose. Watch Bishop want to hit the quick out to the left side. This is what he does so well, is run around and find receivers. The offensive line's hanging in there, and now he finds his tight end. But here's the fumble. Holdman rips it out, And there's the recovery by the Aggies. The Aggies on the year have been just great in turning the ball over. 16 times now they have the edge over the giving the ball away.
First down and 10. This the third Dr. Pepper Big 12 championship game. Second one to be played in St. Louis. Here is the flea flicker. Back Stewart's hit on the release, and it's intercepted by Kelly. Kelly's got it at the 23 for the Wildcats. The great defense.
Now K-State does a pretty good job with a turnover margin too. They have a plus 18 on the year. The pressure from the left side by Monty Beisel. And there's the interception, but Stewart had a man deep in the secondary. If he had one more second, it might have been a touchdown for the Aggies.
Andy Vincent is injured down on the field, so while we have time, let's take a look at this week's Marriott moment. We mentioned that there had been 3 Big 12 championship games. How about this one in St. Louis? 4th down, roll left, James Brown. Derek Lewis, 61 yards. And on the next play, it was Priest Holmes. And the Horns shocked Nebraska, but last year, Nebraska was ready. Scott Frost, 2 touchdowns in the first half. Amon Green with 2. And the Cornhuskers rolled. The Aggies remember that one well, played in San Antonio. So John Saunders, K-State fans are yelling at me. What's going on with UCLA? Fill us in, my friend.
Well, Brent, what's going on with UCLA is their defense is keeping Miami in the game. It was a 17-point lead following a UCLA fumble at about the 13. Covington goes 70 yards to Santana Moss for the touchdown. Miami now within 3 with plenty of time remaining. Brent.
So here come the Wildcats of Kansas State and Michael Bishop with outstanding field position, but that clock is running down on him. Does Michael realize? He's got a timeout. He's got to use a timeout because of the clock. He didn't realize it was running, so we will take a break. Some of the big fellas banged up. Andy Vincent, a tackle. And guard Jeremy Martin is off for Kansas State. He's been slowed by injuries all season. He tried and then couldn't go here today. Hickson behind the left side. And he is down at the 17-yard line with Rich Cody and Dat Wynn in on the stop.
This is such a huge offensive line for K-State. Across the board, you've got Young at 330, Hanley at 325. Moses now is taking the place of Jeremy Martin at right guard. He's 290 to do a lot. Big guys, a lot bigger than A&M's defensive front.
2nd and 5, the ball on the 18. They spread the quarterback, Michael Bishop, to the left side, and it's illegal. With the clock running down, there's a procedure penalty going to go against Kansas State, called by our Big 12 referee.
Dead ball. False start on the offense. It'll be a 5-yard penalty and remain 2nd down.
Randy is all over the play. Snyder's call had Bishop sprinting to the outside.
That's Bishop out there. Here's Hickson. He was going to take a direct snap from the center. And it looks like pretty good coverage by the Aggie defense. They weren't fooled at all. There's the false start. There's the 5-yard penalty.
2nd down and 10. Bishop sprints now. Hickson on the pitch with the option. Look at the Aggies with 2 maroon shirts all over them here, including Dat Wynn.
It really looks like that if K-State's going to have success running, it's got to be between the tackles. They can use their power up front, but I think the Aggie defense is too quick when they try to go wide.
Best watch Mr. Bishop sprinting out of the shotgun fumble, puts it on the carpet. His knee is down. He is down at the 31-yard line. So here comes Automatica, ladies and gentlemen. Martin Gramatica trots onto the field.
14 times Bishop has fumbled on the year. He's only lost 6 of them. But against Nebraska, he had a big problem. And then last week, or 2 weeks ago against Missouri, had a similar problem. But when you're thinking about this guy, he's always in range.
Here is a 47-yard chip shot. And folks, after Martin makes it, watch the Tanga. His punter puts it down. Hello, scoreboard. Here he comes, baby. Go get him, Martine. So, Automatica, Martine Gramatica puts Kansas State on the scoreboard, and folks, 5-9. Now watch. Grew up a soccer player. It's a goal. Show the folks. That's it. One of the fine kickers in the college game, and one of the reasons why this Kansas State team may be the best balanced team of the 3 unbeaten still standing. If you ask coaches privately, which one of the 3 would you not want to play in a bowl game, I would tell you right now that most of them will say Kansas State. And he's one of the reasons why. The kicking game in the Little Apple is absolutely magnificent. And Sir Parker back deep. Now the Aggies have been impressive so far here on this carpet. Can they keep it up? Mr. Parker to the 19-yard line. You cannot say enough about the coaching job Phil Fulmer and his staff have done with the Volunteers. Think about what has gone on down there. Not just losing Peyton Manning, but all the other draft choices that went to the NFL. Then they lose their best running back because of an injury, and the Volunteers just keep coming at you. That's one of the best coached teams in America. First down. There's Toombs for a couple of yards on the handoff.
Steve Kragthorpe is the offensive coordinator for A&M. And we got a penalty on this last play, but what he wants to see today, no turnovers. Ori have had 1 turnover on the interception on Stewart. Stewart is 0 for 3 so far, but he hasn't really had a chance to even set his feet to throw the ball. The pressure of the Wildcat defensive line's been all over him.
It came late, and one of the back judges threw it. It came well after the play had been whistled down. Take a look at Cole here. Yes, indeed.
Sir,
no
buddy.
question. And Mr. Cole is lucky he did not get an early exit for that forearm shiver. And RC is letting him know in no uncertain terms, you do not lose your cool in a championship game. Under no circumstances do you throw that, because they're always going to see the second punch.
And it was Demetrius Butler, number 23, who's a freshman, that baited Cole, the junior, into that penalty.
Second down, 19. And now Kansas State expected to turn it up. Stewart rolls, going to go deep. One-on-one Oliver, and extremely well covered by number 17, Gerald Niesman. Came over, and he was, remember, injured, came back to the starting lineup, and Gerald was right there.
Now, Niesman's got his gloves in his back pocket as he flies down the field with the coverage on Oliver. Little hand fighting there, little pushing and shoving. Pretty good coverage there. Ball was well beyond Oliver's reach.
Leroy Hodge trots into the Aggie huddle. He brings the play in from Slocum's sideline, and this will be a 3rd and 19. Dangerous for Texas A&M. We'll see what Leroy is going to do. Niesman goes with him. They man up on the outside. K-State shows a bump. Probably going to bring pressure. Here it comes. Kelly looking for an alley. Down to the middle. Incomplete. And no penalty flag. And that was Jared Cooper, their outstanding strong safety, who came up over the top as Stewart is racked on the delivery.
Now he's having a whole bunch of trouble just getting off the field. And remember, the Aggies do not have a backup quarterback. He may have hurt his right shoulder on this play. Seems to be grabbing it now. Cooper does a nice job of making a play on the ball, but let's look at the pressure here. Again, he can't really step up into it. Now it looks like it might be his left leg at that with that picture there.
I think maybe Dante Hall was pushed back into an ankle or a knee. I saw a maroon jersey going backwards on the pressure coming up the middle. Maybe we'll get a better view of it to see exactly where the contact came from.
They're checking out that right knee, Brent.
Stewart was attempting to step up, and folks, what that means is that the punter must move in and play quarterback for the Aggies. That is Shane Lechler, and there he is, number 6. Now he is due to trot out onto the field to punt, and they may be talking to him about the fact that he's in there. There is what he accomplished at East Bernard, Texas High School his senior year. 86% complete, and coach, I just think he said, my friend, you might be in there. Now take a look and see if Dante Hall doesn't come back, Dan.
Well, Hall is right in the middle here, and he gets pushed back, and as Stewart let the ball loose,
yeah, it
appears
was
to be a right knee injury.
You know who it was, who they had put in as an extra blocker? It could have been Simpson. At any rate, it was an Aggie who came back into the quarterback's knee. And now, the man of the day, as far as Texas A&M is concerned, is punter Shane Lechler. And Mr. Allen is saying, just give me a shot. And Lechler for the sideline. They try to bury Allen on that side. Cuts back to the middle, short of the 50-yard line. And what a nice day to mosey on down the mighty Mississippi in one of your paddle boats. Weather's been beautiful. Hope it's been nice wherever you're watching this game here today. First down and 10. The ball is at the 49-yard line, and Coach Snyder hoping that the offense can score a touchdown
For Kansas State, and this is what he wants to see happen today. They're averaging 230 yards rushing on the year, and a lot of that, of course, is Michael Bishop. He's so dangerous, and you know, almost like the old single wing tailback, but with the modern offensive rushing plays like the counter.
2nd and 3. Show the option, keep it, and maybe a yard against that defense. Dat, Wynn, and Bradley. Let's check in with Jackaroo. Jack.
Well, Brent, let's update you first. The condition of Brandon Stewart, a bruised knee. They will continue to evaluate it. In the meantime, Shane Lechler was just delivered a very valuable commodity, and that was a wristband with the numerical plays on it. It was delivered by Randy McCowan, and he was told, get ready, because you may have to lead the Aggies the next offensive time.
Shades of Tom Manning. Oh, there's a lot of you folks out there too young for that. Mr. Fouts will remember, though. Absolutely. 3rd down and 1. Here comes Bishop. Option, first down, K-State to the 36-yard line.
Tom Manning had to step in for Johnny Unitas and Gary Quazzo, I believe, against the Green Bay Packers. And he wore the very first wristband with the plays on it. Now everybody's got them. And I'm not sure Lechler's ever had one on, though.
So everyone in Tennessee, Los Angeles, Kansas, what a day this is. First down and 10. The computers will be whirring tonight. Here's Butler, short drop, pump fake down to the middle, got Swift again to the 21-yard line. Beautiful pump fake by Bishop. Oh, UCLA, John Saunders, what's going on down in Miami, my friend?
Brent, Cade McNown has just taken the Bruins on his back and is leading them to victory. Here from a yard out, he runs it in for the touchdown. That goes along with the 5 that he has passed for. A 10-point lead again with under 7 to go. Brent.
What a high-scoring bunch the UCLA Bruins are, trying to do it with their offense. Frank Murphy now in the game. Junior college whiz in at tailback. Going to get the call. He's got speed, sprints. Could not shake free of the tackler at the 16, and that was Bradley, number 40, doing a good job out there defensively for R.C. Slocum.
Michael Bishop off to a great start, Brent. 4 for 4 passing for 48 yards, and he's carried the ball 6 times. But what I like to see is he went right back to his tight end that time, getting the ball to Swift for that big first down. Swift, of course, fumbled earlier in this quarter, but go right back to him, build his confidence back up.
Hickson checks back in for Michael Bishop. And now he goes out as a wide receiver. Remember, this has been a direct snap to Hickson the last time they ran the play. Hickson fumbles the ball, picks it up one hop, going to take off with it, and he is smothered at the 16-yard line. Ugly looking play. That's 0 for 2 on that baby. And Dan had a chance to ask Bill Snyder, what's important offensively early, Coach?
Well, I think number one is probably what all football coaches would say: don't beat yourself. You know, don't turn the football over, don't get penalized, don't make those bad mistakes, don't get your quarterback sacked. You know, those kind of things that can create a disadvantage in terms of field position. That's going to be important for our football team, just as it is for, I would assume, for Texas A&M as well.
Yeah, and the Wildcats making mistakes. Now Bishop's got a wide open man. The tight end Swift, touchdown! K-State, 16 yards.
Michael Bishop's 22nd touchdown pass of the year, finding his tight end off the play-action pass. And Justin Swift got behind Dat Nguyen and was wide open. Toughest part of that play for Swift was to make sure he caught the ball. He was so wide open.
Martin. An extra point yet this year. He is 67 of 67.
Here's the tight end right here, and he's going to go down to the corner. Dat Nguyen is in coverage here. Watch after the play fake. There goes the tight end, and Dat Nguyen doesn't even bother chasing him. Wide open for an easy touchdown for the Wildcats.
And one thing about this game, K-State will not call off the Dogs. Timeout.
Let's update you on a couple of injuries. Andy Vincent out with a knee sprain. Also, Rocky Bernard having x-rays. But the big story, Brent, is look for Brandon Stewart to go back in. They've worked on his knee, and they've cleared him to play.
He's coming in at the 20-yard line after the touchback.
And, you know, he wasn't getting great pass protection on two sound legs. He's got a little sleeve on his right knee now. Just a bit of a limp. But he is a senior quarterback. He's played in this championship game last year against Nebraska. He feels confident he can get the job done. But that offensive line has got to do a lot better job. There's one happy dude. The punter doesn't have to play quarterback just yet.
Stewart brings the Aggies up, now trailing by 10. Dante Hall cuts in the hole. He has looked sharp. Picked up 5 quick yards. He certainly is an artificial turf runner. 3 carries, 22 yards. You can tell those fellas have a way of planting and quickly cutting. It's a Barry Sanders-like move. It's a shake and bake when you first hit that hole. And some runners simply don't have it. They're looking for speed, and they're straightaway type runners. But I can see right now that Hall is much more comfortable on this surface than he was on the grass down in Austin. It's a different looking running back for me. Try him again. They'll sprint him to the side. He's got the first down. You got to stick with him. 37 now. Let's see.
You know, Brent, you talked about Dante Hall, and he's one of those compass runners, you know, northeast, southwest, whatever it takes. He's got those Barry Sanders moves. He's built along the same lines, 5'8", 190 pounds. But it's his speed to get to the outside first, and then it's the sharp cuts. Behind the freshman fullback, Toombs, with a pretty good block on Semino, they get the first down easily.
And Butler, the corner, not much of a match over there, was he, folks? They're going to keep running. Huge hole. Dante at midfield. Dante Hall carries the Aggies on his shoulders to the 39-yard line. A burst of 23. He's now 5 for 58.
It's a little misdirection. He hits off the left guard behind his fullback, and Toombs is a true freshman at fullback, and he goes at 260, so it's almost like having a guard in the backfield. There's a good block right there as he just wipes Semino right out of the play.
That young man on the corner better get ready. First down and 10. Slot off to the right. Sir Parker, fine receiver, will go in motion. It's 3 wide receivers, and they come back with Toombs, the fullback. Pound for a couple of yards with Semino making the stop for the Wildcats.
You know, Brandon, this is really important for Brandon Stewart. Remember, he's just one medium hit from getting out of the game with that bad right knee. The Aggies very impressive running the ball on this drive. We've yet to see if Stewart can go back and throw the ball. 4 straight rushes, Brent.
Snyder making one of the many notes that he does during the game, and it looks like the final seconds are ticking away in the quarter, and that's why the quarterback Stewart was walking away. He had his eye on the game clock. 1 touchdown in the first half, and it was the Bishop finding the Swift tight end, Justin. And the Wildcats lead it by 10. Timeout. On 2nd down and 8, Brandon Stewart with his fine running back reaching for the first down, and he appears to be just short, but it was on 2nd down that time, so it won't make all that much difference as Butler makes. Now, while you were away, Coach Snyder brought the entire defensive unit out about 20 yards from the sideline so no one could hear it. And folks, he delivered a lecture in no uncertain terms. He does not like the way the defense has been tackling on this drive. 3rd down and 1, and the Aggies have got the running game rolling.
5 straight runs, Brent.
3rd down. Taylor in motion. Option look. Couldn't get the first down. Great stop by Howard. Underrated defensive lineman, and Howard gets outside. There is a playmaker. Let's go now to John Saunders in New York.
Brent, the clock cannot tick fast enough for UCLA. Take a look at this. Covington rolls one way. Those are to Mondrell Fulcher, 30 yards in the touchdown. These teams have combined for over 1,200 yards, and it's a 3-point game, Brent.
And Ryan Rock on the corner giving chase futilely that time for the Bruins, who are desperately trying to hang on. Kansas State fans are loving what they're hearing out of Miami. They're just hoping one of the computers recognizes defense. 4th down and short. Dante Hall steps to the hole, beats Chapman, got the first down. Seven carries now, 68 yards for Hall.
Well, I really can't say enough about number 28, Jamar Toombs, again getting after Mark Semino, who's one of the best tacklers in the Big 12, and just clearing the hole for Dante Hall.
Sir Parker replaces Dante, who will take a breather. Now remember, they frequently like to throw the ball to Sir out of the backfield if they can. He's a fine receiver. They're inside the 30-yard line. Toombs stays in. Brinkley a wide out. They're going to run Parker. Cuts back under the hole. Got a 20, got the speed. 15 from behind at the 9-yard line. Butler saving a touchdown.
Brent, we talked about the trouble that the running backs had last time out against Texas. Well, the offensive line struggled too. They appear to be a lot quicker this week going against this very quick Wildcat defense. Another big hole for an Aggie running back. And Sir Parker, thinking he's going to get in the end zone, was already celebrating at the 15-yard line.
Unbelievable.
I think RC may talk to him about that one.
He stays in the game with Toombs in front of him. Motion is started by Stewart. Come back with him on a cutback and to the 6-yard line. That's one of the earliest celebrations we have ever seen.
A bit premature. You know, the other thing about the Aggies, remember Chris Cole got called for that 15-yard penalty, personal foul penalty. He is yet to see the field since that penalty. And there's the teacher.
So last week, -7. Last year, -35 against this defense, and today, rolling. But can they finish now? And you know what he said to him. Sir, you got to get it in the end zone before you raise that hand. Okay, young man? Dante Hall is back in, 2nd down. Got on a bit of a delay. Sprints for the outside. Butler is there, and he is pushed out of bounds. Semino and Butler were there on that corner. They would not give way for K-State. Isn't it unbelievable, ladies and gentlemen, to be talking about Kansas State and national championship in the same breath I find that so remarkable. Do you know what they say about Barry Switzer said about Coach Snyder? Coach of the year, coach of the decade. Forget about it. He's the coach of the century.
Well, you know, when you look about the turnaround, it's unbelievable. We said that 77 wins in his career at K-State. That's as many as they had in the 30 years prior to his arrival. That may be considered a turnaround.
Meticulous, organized, and McKinney down.
This is the starting center for the Aggies, and Andy Vincent's already been hurt along that offensive line.
Let's take a break. Aggies are driving, but they have lost their center. Timeout.
Back in New York, update of UCLA and Miami. Cade McNown having a great day, but Brad Melsby hauls his pass in. Looks like he got a first down. Gets hit by Edward Reed, and the ball pops out. Delvin Brown recovers, and now Miami is driving on the play. They have just scored a touchdown. Miami has to grab the lead. Not yet called a touchdown. We'll get you up to date when we can. Right now, let's get you back to Brent.
A&M trying to storm in here on 3rd and 4 from inside the 5 and trying to make a game of it at the Dr. Pepper Big 12 Championship. Here's Dante, and he is short, and it brings up 4th and goal, down by 10. Decision for Slocum and the staff right now. And it looks like they're not going to attempt a field goal. It looks like they're going to go for it. I'm a little bit surprised, down 10. This is a tough 3 yards.
Yeah, especially when you've got a quarterback that isn't entirely mobile. Brandon Stewart's got a sore right knee. And he's a right-handed quarterback. The field is wide to the left, so it's going to be tough for him to roll out and throw that way.
Aggies are on the 3-yard line, and we hear the Hurricanes are on the 1-yard line against UCLA. Touchdown, Miami. Now it's Texas A&M's turn.
Trying to drive the Wildcats off sides with a hard count.
Couldn't do it. And it's field goal time.
That's worth a shot. I like that strategy. A couple of guys were twitching a little bit up there, weren't they?
Yes, they were. 4th down from the 1.5 yard out would have been a little bit different. So with the break, we'll take a timeout.
Brent, we told you about the turnover. Edgerrin James from a yard out takes the pitch and walks into the end zone. 49-45. UCLA now is driving about midfield. We'll keep you up to date, Brent.
And John, when the Trans World Dome is notified, there are going to be some very happy folks in purple and white. When this Wildcat crowd hears that one of the 3 has been picked off, and Kansas State is 1 win away from playing for all the Tostitos, my friend, there's going to be some early celebration.
And Brent, I just saw Bill Snyder handing out earplugs for his players so they can't hear that score. they got to win this one. Say he's a control freak. I didn't think it would go to those lengths, though.
The comeback kid, though. Can Cade McNown find Farmer? We shall see. A high returnable kick, and Murphy from the 8-yard line. Huge hole. Cuts way back to the right. And on the dip is down at the 34. Might have had more running room had he kept motoring straight ahead. But let's take a look at this week's Aflac Trivia Quiz. Kansas State head coach Bill Snyder. William Jewell College. Played football back in the 60s. Now, where, ladies and gentlemen, is William Jewell College, and what position did Coach Snyder play? Think about that, Aflac, and we'll give you the answer a little bit later.
I'm not sure about either of those answers, Brent, but I do know he got his coaching start as a coach for the Indio Rajas in Indio, California. Among the players he coached, Big Ed White, San Diego Chargers.
Big Ed now an assistant coach under Dick Vermeil here with the St. Louis Rams. One of the line coaches. 1st down and 10. Here's the Bishop on the drop. Everybody covered, so he just pulls it back and waits, and now goes long and got his big play receiver. Touchdown, McDonald. 66 yards. Let the celebration begin in the Little Apple.
This is his 70th catch of the year. Look at the time to throw for Bishop. He's thinking one thing now, throw it deep. And so is McDonald. They're on the same wavelength, gets behind Curry, and then watch the strength and power of Darnell McDonald as he pulls the quarterback into the end zone for the score.
So Bishop is perfect throwing the ball. 130 yards and 2 touchdowns. Gramatica adds the extra point. And the Wildcats are on the road to Tempe. Timeout.
Back in New York, UCLA, 4 seconds left against Miami. Cade McNown, does he have a miracle? Tosses this one to the end zone. It's tipped a couple of times, but it's out of bounds. 20-game streak comes to an end. UCLA's dreams of playing in the Tostitos Fiesta Bowl also come to an end. 49-45. Brent.
John, this was the scene here moments ago. That young man with a television set signifying to everybody that it's over.
Great, great. And now those that don't have a television set just heard from the PA announcer.
Gramatica wants one returned by Parker from the 5-yard line. The Wildcats heading to Arizona if they can hold up against the Aggies. Jared Cooper. Unplug the computers, ladies and gentlemen. It's now in the hands of the men and the boys. It is now up to Kansas State and Tennessee, baby. No more polls. Let it be decided on the field where it should have been all along. Here we go.
Yeah, but what about Mississippi State, man? This maybe's not over.
That's still up to Tennessee, I say.
Yes, sir.
First down and 10. And for UCLA, well, they wind up in the Rose Bowl against a pretty good Wisconsin team. Stewart. Dante Hall, who has been troublesome, slashing to the 19. And Jobob Clemens. Second down and 7. Ball is on the 19-yard line. Toombs is set in front. Back deep. Got a man wide open. And so out of the doghouse comes Chris Cole to make a play for the Aggies, and it's a big one.
Yeah, from the doghouse to the penthouse on that play. Watch as he's working with Chris Taylor and now uses his speed to get deep in the secondary. And he's just so excited that he's making a play. He just falls down all by himself. Maybe another 10 yards he costs himself being over anxious.
Big cheer for that in Tallahassee. Let us not forget, ladies and gentlemen, that Bobby Bowden and the Seminoles of Florida State are one upset away from also going to Tempe and the Tostitos Fiesta Bowl where they'll play for the title. And Dante Hall is eaten up. There is Howard. Of all the players I looked at this year, well, I thought one of the most impressive was Darren Howard. Aerial coverage for today's game brought to you by Tostitos, proud sponsor of the Tostitos Fiesta Bowl, this year's College Football National Championship. Second down and 12.
I think that sun was setting on Westwood, California.
Parker, the motion man to the right side. Stewart's got him on a quick one. Chapman makes the stop at the 45-yard line, and this will leave them with 3rd and 5.
It's a pretty gutty performance by Brandon Stewart. Remember, he got hurt in the first quarter, and it was a right knee injury, so that means that's the knee that he has to gather and push off of when he's throwing. He's completed his last 2 passes, and he's getting time to throw, which is always the key.
3rd and 4 from the Kansas State 44.
Stewart brings the Aggie offense up, and he'll sit back in that shotgun look. 2 big bodyguards. I got to give him the 2 fullbacks, Simpson and Toombs. There was motion by an offensive linemen, and remember, there are a couple of injuries. McCarthy trying to fill in there at center, and Holder was over there at tackle. So the Aggie offensive line has been riddled by injuries, and one thing you don't want to do.
False start on the offense. Be a 5-yard penalty and remain third down.
And you know that the one thing you don't want to do with a young, inexperienced, perhaps antsy, is sit too long and have them sit down. You want to get going on a count and get them into action, because they're going to be nervous coming up to that line right now.
And McKinney was the center on that play, Brent. He's got to be thinking about his injury a little bit, maybe.
So here is third down and 9. Parker sprints out to the left. Roll that direction. Pressure. Hit on the release. And almost intercepted. As Stewart is banged again. And there is a penalty flag on the far side. Niesman appears to be injured again. He was the cover corner. So that's an automatic first down with defensive holding.
Well, watch Brandon Stewart. He doesn't even get a chance to set his feet again, throwing off his back foot before he gets drilled there by Chris Johnson. Here's the play at the other end. Remember, Niesman has a bad thigh bruise, kept him out of 5 games. Good job here by Cole coming over the top. That's offensive pass interference on Chris Cole. That was not called.
A break for the Aggies. They'll take it. Ball is spotted inside the 40-yard line. So Sir Parker, trying to escape out of the backfield, was held, and the flag was thrown in that direction, and then they miss offensive pass interference. Here's the toss now. Sir Parker breaks away from a tackle on a cutback, and he plows powerfully to the 30-yard line. And the Dr. Pepper Big 12 Championship on ABC is brought to you by Dr. Pepper and your local Dr. Pepper bottler. Dr. Pepper, this is the taste. The new Dodge, it's about change. Morgan Stanley, Dean Witter. We measure success one investor at a time. And Tostitos, proud sponsor of the Tostitos Fiesta Bowl, college football's national championship. Ball has been spotted at the 31-yard line. Second down and 2, Dan.
Last time the Aggies had a ball game against Texas, minus 7 yards rushing, 108 positive yards rushing today.
Dante Hall, first down beautifully on that cutback, explodes, and he rolls close to the 5-yard line. The one thing that Snyder and the Wildcats must avoid is a letdown after hearing the Miami upset of UCLA.
Well, I don't think the Aggies are going to go anywhere either. They know this is going to be a long battle, and they're not intimidated by K-State. They lost to them last year when they were held through a minus 35 yards rushing. What a turnaround in 1 year for the Aggies as far as their mental attitude this game. This is just man-to-man up front, and the Aggies are winning the battle.
17-3, Aggies trailing. Another first and goal for Texas A&M. Forced to settle for a field goal. They'll try Dante Hall behind Toombs, and it was broken up by number 44, Monty Beisel. And Monty, starting at that defensive end spot with Howard slipping inside, has made a couple of fine plays here today. Now he will go to the sideline. So they continue to juggle as Andre Rowe will give them a little more beef down on the inside. And they never, ever let an offensive line figure out where Darren Howard is going to be from one sequence to the next. They continue to move 49 inside and outside. Second down and goal. Hall slammed in the middle. McIntosh, one of the defenders who was right there in a hurry. Damian McIntosh is number 77. He's a defensive tackle. He's 290 pounds. He's played some offensive tackle through the years for K-State. And next year, you Wildcat fans can expect to see him over there at that tackle spot, perhaps replacing Ryan Young, the big 6'6", 330-pounder at left tackle. So here it is, third and goal again with Spiller and Campbell, a pair of tight ends. for the Aggies, who get close but haven't been able to finish. Play fake, Stewart on a roll. Not very fast, and he was eaten up by Jared Cooper, the strong safety. One of the best in the land.
Well, this play is just a disaster. Number 87 is Derek Spiller, the tight end on the right side here. And now he's trying to sneak out of the backfield. He's not even in the end zone. 87 is short. And Stewart had just one receiver on that side of the field to throw to.
26-yard field goal attempt coming up for Bynum. They had too many men on the field, and now quickly sprinting off is Seth McKinney. And Bynum is 2 of 2. So again, the Aggies threaten, but K-State's talented defense holds timeout. 70 for the Cardinals. Murphy coming out of the end zone, spins, and he'll be down at the 12-yard line. First down. I'd love to give away money, wouldn't you, Dan?
Oh, yeah, especially your money.
Bishop plowing ahead to the 16-yard line. That win.
You know, that was only K-State's second play of this quarter. Their first play of the quarter was a pretty good one when McDonald went 66 yards with Bishop's pass for the score. Worst field position on the afternoon for the Wildcats, but I don't think field position really bothers Michael Bishop.
Second down and 8. Bishop and the Wildcats lead at 17-6. The K-State defense has been bending but not breaking, and Bishop sprints for another first down with Anthony making the stop. Now, remember the Aflac trivia quiz we gave you earlier about Coach Snyder? Bill was out of William Jewell College, where he played. Now, where is it and what position did he play? See, some of you knew it. A suburb of Kansas City. Liberty's about 10 miles out of KC. Defensive back. That's what he looked. The old Huckabug shot there.
But you know what, Ray, I'm not sure how good a defensive back he was. At number 66, I haven't seen a whole lot of defensive backs, even back in the old days when he played, that were number 66.
First down and 10 for Bishop and the Wildcats. Here comes their flea flicker, and Bishop's got all kinds of time. Remember, he's thrown the football 93. Can he find anybody? If not, just keep dancing. And here he comes. He is the most exciting performer in the game this year. Bishop to the 40. First down, K-State.
And Bishop goes up and gives a high five to Darnell McDonald, because what McDonald did for Bishop at the end of the run is he took away the most dangerous tackler for A&M, and that's Dat Win. Great coverage in the secondary. Look, both receivers are covered here. But watch the Wildcats. They don't quit. They're looking for good blocks. There's one right there. There's two right there. Now watch. Well, we'll see if it plays too long, Brent.
Here's the handoff now, and a cutback by Hickson. And Hickson for 4 yards with Rich Cody making the stop for the Aggies. So if this is your first look at Michael Bishop, welcome to the exciting one. Look at this block Dan referred to.
Well, this is Darnell McDonald, number 80, and that's Dat Win hitting the turf. That doesn't happen very much to that great tackler.
Over 500 career tackles for the Aggies. He's been trying to hold up against Bishop in that speed. Second down and 6. Hickson picks his way. Hickson now powers for the first down for K-State. Another reminder, the Valvoline halftime report is coming up. I think it will be exhausted by John and Todd, showing you all the highlights from Miami. But let's hear it for Butch Davis and the Hurricanes. After being trounced by Syracuse, embarrassed by Syracuse, coming home, regrouping, and upsetting UCLA. That is a wonderful performance.
Absolutely. And then, Brent, when you think about UCLA, and the biggest question mark about that great football team has always been their defense. And today, the defense let them down. Tremendous performance by Cade McNown and the Bruin offense, but the defense has been a problem all year long and couldn't handle the Canes today.
And I don't hear anybody complaining about Coach Snyder's cupcakes now. You know, what happened to that? First down and 10.
I know there's some nerds out there that are breathing a sigh of relief.
No, they're not. They wanted all the power. They want to be punching a computer's time. And back goes Bishop, trying to get away for the DB, and he could not. And then Bradley rolls in from that linebacking spot.
You know, Mike Hankwitz is a defensive coordinator for the Aggies. He always seems to come up with the right call at the right time. A blitz that time by Bradley on the outside. There's Dat Win on the inside. And that is a huge loss for K-State. 17-yard loss on the sack.
Puts him in 2nd and 17. That's the kind of play Florida State likes, eh, my friend?
Yeah, no kidding.
Straight back. Going to drop the screen off to Hickson. Got a wall in front of him. And he makes it to the 49-yard line of Texas A&M. A 17-yard run. So there she is. Probably getting a little nervous. And Marlene, we did have a chance to ask David Allen, what would you tell her before she goes out to catch 3 for $1 million? Here's what the ace for K-State said.
Basically, you know, just concentrate on the ball, you know, look the ball in, and just stay focused and, you know, keep your arms tucked in, and it'll be good.
All right, keep those arms tucked in, kiddo. There she is down there. Jack Arute will be there. Folks, her arms are black and blue from practicing down in Texas. She lives in a suburb just outside Austin. There she is. She's a grocery clerk. She's a wonderful woman. And look at that.
You really didn't have to do that, Marlene.
No, Jack Arute, take it away, my friend.
Brent, let's tell you a little bit about Michael Bishop when he was growing up and playing sandlot football. He didn't dream that he was a pro quarterback like Dan Fouts. He didn't dream about winning the scoring the winning touchdown in the Super Bowl. Every day he said he dreamed about winning a national championship. He said, I've thought about it since I was 7 or 8 years old. It looks like with the defeat of UCLA, he'll get a chance to compete for that national championship if, and I say if, they win today.
I was about to say, not so fast, my friend. There are some Aggies who, one thing we know about Texas A&M from last week in Austin, they don't quit. Gave up a scoring drive at the end, led by the great Ricky Williams. And here's Bishop, one of the great competitors that I have watched this year. Murphy is running back, and Bishop's going to pull it back on a rope, a diving reception at the 42-yard line. And there is McDonald, who has 9 touchdown catches for the season. And he is a great go-to receiver.
This is where Bishop's arm strength really comes in handy. With just a couple of seconds to go here, letting the clock run down.
Bring in Gramatica. We've only got 4 seconds.
They're going to run out of time here.
Call time. Come on, here we go. Let me see Automatica attempt one.
Well, this would be about a 60-yarder, 59 maybe. Well within his range.
Here he comes. That's what that was all about. Martin Gramatica. Now here's a young man who has kicked a 65-yarder with the tee. This would be a 59-yarder if he makes it. Now this is the 65-yarder. Without a tee. Without a tee. Martin Gramatica. 65 yards. That is the longest in NCAA history without a tee.
And you know, it was against one of those cupcakes, but when you're a field goal kicker, you don't mind if it's a cupcake. It doesn't matter.
So here we come. Think you can make him nervous if you ice him down, folks, if you get him.
You just get him more pumped up.
Look at him. He only played high school football for 1 year down in the state of Florida. His family came up.
You know what? He's going back an extra yard too, Brent. He's going back. Now they moved it up. he had wanted it at the 50.
Yeah, sure, he wanted the 60-yarder. Now the Aggies say, have a little ice, my friend. Have a little ice. So the coach says, come on over here, Martine. The target. He's already done that once. The 59-yarder.
A little more ice.
Shackaroo, the young man being put to the test, my friend.
Well, Brent, he'd never have to worry about Grammatica, as you called him, Automatica. At a home game in Manhattan, Bill Snyder said he was in his office, which overlooks the field. And it was during pregame warm-ups, and all of a sudden he heard a roar from the crowd. And he looked out, and he saw that it was just his kickers practicing. He didn't think anything about it till he went downstairs and met with his coaches, and he said, what was all that hullabaloo about during the practice kicking? He said, didn't you hear? He says, Grammatica kicked a 77-yarder. He's got the toe. It just remains to be seen if he can make it work in game conditions right now.
Oh, mercy.
Hullabaloo. Whose line was that, anyway?
This would be the third longest in K-State history. And this drama is being milked. We may get to the SEC championship game a little late tonight, the way this is going. Are the Aggies out of timeouts? Yes, they are. Okay, this one's for real.
On its way, and no.
Good use of the timeout, Stan.
So,
betcha.
K-State leads it 17-6. Let's bring in John Saunders and Todd Blackledge. John. 30 minutes of playing time away from a trip to the national championship game. Already today, UCLA has tasted defeat. Tennessee comes at you tonight against Mississippi State down in Atlanta. Shane Lechler with the ball on the tee, and the Aggies will try to derail the KC Express. Murphy goes back to the 2-yard line. So here at the Trans World Dome in St. Louis, the second half underway. Niesman takes it at the 1. Comes to the right. Tackled at the 29-yard line. The Dr. Pepper first half stats, Dan.
Well, A&M's doing a good job with time of possession and rushing yardage, but then you look at the passing yardage right here. Michael Bishop, 8 for 8 with a couple of touchdown passes. That's been the difference. And what A&M has to do in the second half is they got to find some way of containing Michael Bishop's passing game. And then on offense, they've got to run up the middle with Hall and Sir Parker and then protect their quarterback with their lives.
Makes the call at the line. Picks it. First play of the second half. And Dan Quinn comes out of nowhere and swats him at the 32-yard line. Jackaroo.
Well, Brent, let me give you the coach's comments. R.C. Slocum, well, he likes his running game. He says, we need a passing game. Look for them to put it in the air more. I asked Coach Snyder from Kansas State, are you going to make any changes in the second half, or are you happy? He said, I'm happy, and besides, I don't think we're smart enough to make any changes.
So here's the second down for his Wildcats. Spreads the field to the wide side. And now Bishop, who's been perfect throwing the ball so far. Almost no on the ricochet. The Aggies with an opportunity. As the first man was Jennings. And it was Webster on the ricochet who could not finalize the interception.
This would have been a huge interception for the Aggies. And just take a look at the end of it. Of course, it's Jennings, as you said, Brent, with the miss there, and then Webster laying out, just can't get it before it hits the turf.
Aaron Lockett, the speedy one, the intended receiver, and it is 3rd and 7 for Bishop and the Wildcats. Bishop, after his first incompletion, comes back and hits McDonald, first down. Just beyond the first down marker, Michael Bishop. Now, when you look at Bishop and you wonder about his ability as you see this pass, and we'll talk about it here in a second, Dan.
Well, it's a hook pattern, and the thing you got to watch is how quickly this ball is delivered and how short a time it's in the air. Right on the numbers in a big, big hurry.
You wonder about his NFL ability and being able to assimilate offenses that are much more complex. And I will tell you right now that this is a young man who should be drafted in the first round as a slash performer. They start him out as Cordell Stewart did with Pittsburgh and let him learn. Back deep. There's the arm. McDonald driving for, got it at the 35-yard line. They rule it off. Incompletion. The side judge comes running over from the K-State sideline. He had the better view of McDonald.
Well, here's the great arm, and watch the layout by McDonald. And see if this ball does hit the ground. Yep, just went right between his elbows there. But McDonald looks like a NFL prospect as well, Brent.
He goes off to the left. Parise down to the right. Lockett is in the slot. If they can hit the slot man with the speed, he can take off. Bishop instead on the quarterback draw. Bishop battles for the first down. Let us take you back to Glenn Junior College in Texas. Here he is, Michael Bishop, undefeated in 2 years. Threw for better than 2,300 yards. The rocket of an arm. He has thrown a 93-yard pass in practice. No question, Dan, about the arm.
No, and I like your idea about letting him develop over a 2 or 3 year period into an NFL quarterback. He runs like a tailback.
He is a stronger runner than I think even Cordell was coming out of Colorado. Hit on first down, Dan.
Yeah, Brent, the thing about the way he runs is when he needs to, he can lower his head and power his way through tacklers, as we've seen today, but he's also shifty enough to make tacklers miss. That's a great combination.
You know, some coach like Jimmy Johnson will take a shot at a Bishop. And with Marino, of course, in the twilight of his Hall of Fame career, you put Bishop with the Dolphins down inside the 10-yard line, and you let him just run an option look in the NFL, and I'm telling you, he's going to be dangerous. Because he's that strong a runner at the boundary, I think.
And that option is right up his alley.
Second down and 10. There's the inside. He keeps it. Fake to Hickson, and here he comes. You can see his running ability. And two of the maroon jerseys haul him down at the 39-yard line with Rich Cody. And Dan, you made an observation on one of the replays that it is a rope that he throws.
His arm, you talked about his strength as far as throwing at distances, but he's got a very clean and quick release. The ball stays high on his shoulder, and when he lets it go, he really can zing it. And talking to Aaron Lockett yesterday, the redshirt freshman, I asked him if Michael's ever broken any of his fingers. He says not yet. He's wrenched a few of them, though.
Ron Hudson, who once was a quarterback coach at Ohio State, is upstairs calling the plays, giving the head coach information down below as Hickson goes for the first down for K-State. And the one thing that Hudson told us about Bishop, and the one thing that he has had to overcome, is being too emotional during a game. If you get Michael into a close game as he was against Nebraska and Missouri, and you saw the sideline shots, he was just a little too hyper. There's Coach Hudson up above.
And you know, Brent, an emotional quarterback like Michael Bishop, we've seen him over the last 2 years get into the faces of some of his teammates when he doesn't think they're playing as hard as he thinks they should. Well, you know, you can get away with that as long as you back it up with your play. Michael Bishop backs it up with his play. Over 3,000 yards this year in total offense. That's backing it up.
Bishop was also a fine high school catcher. He made the all-area team in that sport as well as quarterback. And in basketball, he was not the point guard, as you might think. He was a forward. What I was told was a decent high school basketball team. So you're looking at a young man whose athletic ability you cannot question. And here he comes again, tucking it away. Penalty flag has been thrown. Bishop for the first down, but the penalty marker thrown by the umpire. Jennings making the stop, and the referee getting word against K-State. First down and 10. And another. Jennings is down on the field for the Aggies.
Appears to be a leg injury. Gets in on the tackle there and shows you the power of Michael Bishop. You know, before that penalty, Brent, the Wildcats have just been picking away here. Bishop running the counter play, the pass play. It just seems like he's got the Aggies back on their heels right now. They don't know where to expect the next play to come from.
And again, Coach Snyder, Bishop, and the Wildcats are just 1/2 away from playing for a national championship. Coaches have already got them ranked #1 in their poll. The writers have them #2. UCLA beaten today. Tennessee to play against Mississippi State tonight, and Florida State hoping for still another upset. Bishop fires, intercepted, picked off by Datwin, who dropped back on the zone coverage, and the great linebacker is out of bounds and saves the moment for the Aggies. Datwin, one of the great effort youngsters to ever come along in this sport.
Well, here he is, #9, right in the middle of the picture here. And he just drops back, looks for the crossing route, and Michael Bishop never saw Datwin. Did not read the entire defense, was zeroed in on one receiver, and Datwin comes up with a huge play for the Aggies. Boy, did they need that.
Now, the Aggies have driven the ball well between the 20s, but they have not been able to finish off for touchdowns. Actually, they've driven it well between the 10s now that I think about it. They've had first and goal a couple of times and settled for field goals in this game. Brandon Stewart now trying to ignite a fire. Play fake, Dante Hall wants middle. Here comes Coles on a break. High, got it. No, he dropped it at the 30-yard line. Between Butler, it was Jared Cooper, the outstanding safety, coming over to help out, and he swats it away. Watch Cooper.
Now, this is a great play by Jared Cooper. Play action. Cole's got his man beat, but watch the weak safety come over. Cooper, number 40, is going to reach up and just knock the ball away from Cole at the last minute. That's playing center field.
It was a good fake by Brandon Stewart, the senior. He started the first 4 games of the year, then gave way to Randy McCown. Came back and started one game when McCown was injured, and then, of course, Randy fractured his right collarbone Wednesday after it was injured last week, and so he's out. We'll take a break. Second down and 10. Dante Hall has eaten up McIntosh, number 77.
And Brett, that timeout that Brandon Stewart had to call probably a result of not having a lot of practice time this week. Remember, Randy McCown practiced up until Wednesday. Halfway through that practice, he felt something in his collarbone. They went in and x-rayed it, and they found out that he had a hairline fracture that was suffered in the Texas game. So Stewart, having trouble with the signals, had to use a very valuable timeout here in the third quarter.
3rd and 13 for the Aggies. Press coverage by the Wildcats. Drops straight back. Middle. Chapman can't hang on. Almost intercepted, but there's a penalty flag thrown on the far side. This could have been defensive holding.
Brent, I think you're right. The flag was thrown real late, And Chris Taylor, if you look at his shoulder pad, it's all the way, his jersey's all the way off the end of his pad. He's saying he was held. Even worse than a defensive holding, a personal foul against Snyder's Wildcats.
Personal foul on the defense. It'll be a 15-yard from the previous spot and an automatic first down.
Snyder asking for some clarification on it.
Well, here it is right here. After the ball is thrown too high, watch the late hit and the hit to the head on the receiver. After the ball goes over the receiver's head, that's the call right there, and that's a good call.
Question.
Man.
You cannot be coming up to the helmet with a forearm like that. Oh, no. First down, and here is Stewart. Hit on the release, and it is grabbed by Taylor. What a grab. Penalty flag comes flying. Chris Taylor somehow came out of that sandwich that he was in the middle of for a 24-yard gain with the penalty flags being thrown.
And he beat two pretty good defensive backs, Gerald Niesman and Jared Cooper. And they're going to get Cooper for a face mask penalty as he reached in to try to knock the ball loose, and they got the mask.
Personal foul, face mask on the defense. Half the distance to the goal and an automatic first down.
Well, penalties have been a problem for K-State all year. This is kind of an inadvertent penalty right here. Cooper wasn't looking to grab the face mask, but he did with that right hand. And then watch the shot on the quarterback. That should be another 15. Joe Bob Clements with the kiss to the face mask.
One of the problems that has plagued this team, and it gives the Aggies another opportunity with a 1st and 10 from the 10-yard line. Needing to finish. They don't need any more field goals. The toss. Dante Hall. Out of bounds at the 5, so he picked up half of it that time before he was run out of bounds by Cooper. Dan, it looks like he's got enough on the outside to come back with the same play.
Well, you got to remember, though, when you go wide against Kansas State, both their linebackers, Semino and Travis Oaks, have great speed to the outside. But they have been effective running the ball. No question, the Aggies have done great this day on the rushing game.
Hall with 102 yards. If they can just score some touchdowns, we'll hear the roar from Tallahassee all the way up here. They're going to try him the short side. Cuts back, dives, and out of bounds at the 2-yard line.
You might even hear a few cheers coming out of Columbus, Ohio, buddy.
Well, I think Columbus, Ohio is already celebrating. I think whatever issue was involved with them not being in the BCS mix. Of course, you're right. If both Kansas State and Tennessee would lose today, we would wind up with Florida State, Ohio State, but that's looking way down the road. Way down the road.
I got 20/20 eyesight. You know that. These classes are perfect.
Now, they ran it to the short side that time, and I'm sort of surprised they didn't get Hall more running room. 3rd down and 2. The wide side is off to the right. Slashes and stuffed right there on a cutback right at the goal line. Semino and Chapman step into the hole for the Wildcats.
There's just not a whole lot of lead in Dante Hall's pencil. He gets to that first tackler and he goes down. Toombs really doesn't get to anybody. A couple linebackers there, Semino and Chapman, made that stop.
You know, they were outside the 10-yard line. There is a possibility that they've got a first down here, folks. They were just outside the 10-yard line when we said it was 1st and 10. So they bring the chains now for the far side, and here comes the measurement. That short for a first down. R.C. Slocum doesn't want to settle for another field goal in this situation. Stewart over. Getting the call. Remember, it was against Texas where Randy McCown kept it. And on that play, he was hit by Dusty Renfro. Toombs and Simpson are in the backfield for the Aggies. Now remember, they can still pick up a first down. K-State's cheering section making as much noise as they possibly can. Straight ahead into the end zone for the Aggies. Touchdown! Jamar Toombs. Remember the name, folks. Number 28, Toombs, with a great future down there in Aggie land, out of Kilgore, Texas. Big-time recruit, Dan.
70 pounds difference between Toombs and Dante Hall. 260 pounds. He rips through the linebackers and the safeties for the touchdown. That's a great call and great use of your personnel by R.C. Slocum and his staff. Now, going for two is another good move.
Toombs is in front of Sir Parker in the backfield. There might have been movement in the defensive line. McIntosh first, but let's see how the officials sort it out. I thought then McKinney went at him after the snap, but let's let the fellows who are closer down there on to play.
And if this is against K-State, then half the distance to the goal line really changes your play selection.
If it's against A&M, you just kick it.
Dead ball. False start on the offense. 5-yard penalty.
I think R.C. thinks that he needs the 2 points more than the 1.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess he figures that 4 doesn't do him much good. If he gets us on a 3, leaves him within a field goal. This is going to be a tough 7 yards.
Let's see who the guilty party is.
I think it's the defensive.
Well, I tell you what.
I thought looking at it live, and that confirms it, that it had been McIntosh who jumped in there. Then McKinney snaps the ball and moves first. So it's a bad call. But nevertheless, they've got to play on here. This is for 2 points in the conversion. Slant, got it. Parker, short of the goal line. Chapman makes a great tackle for the Wildcats. But the Aggies score a touchdown because a great inside linebacker, senior Dat Nguyen, son of Vietnamese refugees, who was born in a refugee camp in Arkansas, makes the big pick for Texas A&M. And then it was Toombs, the freshman fullback, for the score. 17-12, K-State timeout.
Lamar Chapman has ever made in his career at K-State. Watch him stop Sir Parker just inches from breaking the imaginary plane and getting the 2-pointer.
Ball on the tee for Leckler. Chapman, the DB, after the big stop on the 2-point conversion. Sitting on a 5-point difference right now. And this is Hickson from the 8-yard line for K-State. And he burrows his way to the 24-yard line. And now K-State's lead on their drive to Tempe a little bit uneasy. 8:34 to go in the third. It's down to 5. Michael Bishop's last pass intercepted by Dat Nguyen. Roll right. Fire back across the field to a wide-open McDonald. First down at the 47-yard line. And there wasn't a defensive back within 5 yards of McDonald when he threw that pass, and it's a 24-yard gain.
College defensive backs aren't used to seeing a guy that has an arm strength as Michael Bishop has. Look how far off the defensive back is here. That's Curry. Good route by McDonald. Really sharp. And then he's open by 10 yards.
4 catches for 105 yards. First down for the Wildcats, and Bishop on that quarterback draw out of the shotgun look, and this time the Aggies jump it, but Bishop still picks up 4 or 5 yards before Anthony brings him down. So 73 receptions, the Kansas State all-time single season leader, and a few years ago they had a fellow by the name of Kevin Lockett, now in the NFL. who did a great job, and Darnell McDonald has broken his record, and Kevin's younger brother, Aaron Lockett, number 22, 5'7" freshman, the fastest of the wideouts, and one of the fastest members of this Kansas State team, is over on the quarterback's left. Bishop again faking the inside handoff and not getting it, as Brandon Jennings, a fine free safety, up to make the stop. Jackaroo.
Well, Brent, not only do you have to fear the way Michael Bishop runs, but you've got to fear the speed of his arm. His receivers do. He's been clocked at, believe it or not, 80 miles an hour. So what did the K-State coaches do? They brought in one of those machines like Marlene Hoffman used at halftime. They set it up sideways and set the speed at 80+ miles an hour and said, go practice, get ready for Michael.
3rd down and 3 for Bishop and K-State. Middle's open, tight end Swift, first down. Wildcats, 35-yard line, an 11-yard gain. Bishop to Justin Swift.
And Swift looks a little bit shaken up there, but that time you saw Michael Bishop take a little bit off that 80-mile-an-hour fastball. Here's Dat Nguyen, who has 5. This is going to be his 12th tackle of the game. Remember, he had 20 against K-State last year, but that's nothing new for Dat Nguyen.
He's trying to tomahawk that football out of Swift's hand. Swift fumbled one in the first quarter, and Dat was trying to knock a second one loose. 1st down and 10. Low snap. Bishop going to take it off again. Slips a tackle. And Dat Nguyen says, you'll slip 1, but not 2, my friend.
Here he is, number 9, and he's just spying on the quarterback, Michael Bishop here. Watch the explosion as he just drills Bishop sideways. Haven't seen that many times today.
2nd down and 6. K-State on the drive after the Texas A&M touchdown. Kansas State scoreless here in the second half. 5:55 to go on this 2nd down here in the 3rd quarter. And here's Hickson sprinting out to the right and slipped inside to pick up almost 3 yards on the play.
K-State doing a good job controlling the line of scrimmage now and taking time off the clock.
This is so tough for an opponent facing Bishop in 3rd and 3. Actually, probably just a little bit less than 3 as Knight closes in on St. Louis. Here's that option. He's going to pitch it to Hickson. And great play on the outside by the Aggies. Cornelius Anthony and Rich Cody, number 48.
You know, you'd like to have 3 guys on the outside, but Cody makes the play of 2 men. Here he is right here. He's going to come up. Here's the linebacker. They're going to take away the option play, but watch the job that Cody makes as he fights off the block of the fullback right here, drills the fullback, in fact, and makes the tackle on Hickson. That's an unbelievable play by Rich Cody.
And so enter Martin Gramatica, a 45-yarder, and almost blocked. Just good. Under fierce pressure, Martin Gramatica nails a 45-yarder. And the lead is 8. So when you're sitting on 8, I still think the Aggies, after the penalty, should have kicked the extra point. But regardless of what I think, Gramatica is the man with the golden leg. Well, let's thank Tostitos, the proud sponsor of the Tostitos Fiesta Bowl, college football's national championship game this year, for providing aerial coverage for today's game. In case you've not heard, UCLA will not be going to the title game in Tempe, but they will be going to the Rose Bowl in Pasadena to play Wisconsin. And how disheartened are these fellows down at Arizona, down in Tucson today. And Sir Parker has elected to come out, and that's not the wisest decision you want to make, young man, against their special teams. Short of the 10-yard line.
Not only that, but coming out and trying to run a return all the way to the other side of the field. If you're going to bring it out of the end zone from this point on the field, just go straight ahead. Don't compound one mistake with poor judgment. Here he catches the ball about 4 yards deep, and now the return is set up for the left side of the field, and he's a dead Aggie.
Well, if they can find a way to keep Mr. Jared Cooper out of double teaming the wide receivers, the Aggies might be able to do something. But number 40 has been a monster. Sir Parker stays in the game, and he'll go in motion. Chapman picks him up on the right side of the offense, looking for Parker. Gonna go to him. Down sideline, couldn't get it. Oh, he had about a half a step, just a little bit shorter on that pass with that great speed, and they might have been in business. Chapman with the coverage. Sir Parker knows it.
And I think that's the matchup they wanted, to get the speedy Sir Parker on the weak safety, Lamar Chapman. But Stewart just a little bit off.
Dante Hall checks back in. Aggies in 2nd and 10. And against Mike Stoops' defense, you'll get your one-on-one coverage. The corners press. Dante Hall on a cutback and nothing doing because of Mark Semino, one of their outstanding linebackers. Well, our Home Depot coaches fact, and Texas A&M coach R.C. Slocum's first collegiate coaching job was at Kansas State back in 1970 as an offensive line coach. And now he's been the head man down at Texas A&M for the last decade. Done a fine job down there with the Aggies. Facing a 3rd down and 11 here. Tough call with coming in from the sideline. Chris Taylor brings it in. Toombs and Simpson stay in. So they give Stewart as much help as they can in that backfield.
They better hurry.
And that'll cost them.
Again, Stewart having trouble.
They
had to go to Chris Taylor to get clarification on the play. That cost him another valuable timeout.
3rd down and 11. Stewart trying to straighten things out. He's got 5 seconds on that clock. Fires. Taylor got it. Yanks it away to the 35-yard line. And on 3rd down and 11, Brandon Stewart goes 26 yards to Chris Taylor, and the sophomore has become the go-to receiver for the Aggies.
Well, twice now he's beat Gerald Niesman with catches that are very improbable. Niesman with a great coverage, but Taylor reaches out in front of him and makes the catch with his hands. Another big play for Chris Taylor.
And Dan, I said if they could find some way, and that time they occupied Cooper just enough. He was about a yard slow in coming to help on the double team. 1st down and 10 for the Aggies. And they've got Chris Cole to the left side of the formation. Play fake. Stewart going to throw on 1st down. He wants Cole one-on-one. There's bumping. That's interference. That's a 15-yard penalty, and 1st down as Jeremetrius Butler committed the foul.
Butler's a freshman, number 23 here against Cole. And there's a lot of hand fighting here. The first hand is Butler's. And now Cole will push back. Ball is underthrown, and Cole can't get back to it. Easy call.
Now remember, penalties have hurt the Wildcats this year. And in this game, they've been penalized 65 yards to 26 for the Aggies. And it's 4 of those 6 penalties this quarter. So Coach Snyder not happy.
Brent, this is their 12th game of the year, and they've had 111 penalties. That's one thing that Coach Snyder talked to us about, is eliminating the penalties. You can't give your opponent life with penalties.
And it was one that wasn't called that might have saved the season as far as the Wildcats are concerned. 1st down and 10 now. Stewart, Howard's got him, slips away. Fumble! K-State McIntosh has got it. A great play by Darren Howard, who again comes across and penetrates the line of scrimmage and forces the quarterback into an emergency mode, and the fumble is recovered by McIntosh. The most underrated defensive player I've watched all season on tape is Darren Howard.
Well, number 49 is Howard. Here he is, 270 pounds. He blows by the offensive guard. And now the double hit there as Ben Lieber with the big hit causes the ball to come loose, and McIntosh has got it.
And Rex Tucker, watch number 53, the offensive lineman. He cannot wrap this loose football up. Misses. Kick free and recovered by McIntosh. And now coming out, it is Michael Bishop and the Wildcats from the 49-yard line. Deep drop, Bishop to the middle. Got McDonald again at the 29-yard line for a first down. 20 more yards for Darnell McDonald receiving today.
Well, the NFL scouts have got to love this arm. This ball travels about 30 yards, 35 yards, and it doesn't get any more than 10 feet off the ground. I bet not many guys stole second base off this catcher in high school.
You got that right, my friend. They said it good. He was an outstanding high school catcher, and of course, obviously, as you point out, too many base runners spraying on it. 5 for 125 yards for McDonald. Bishop got one. Here's, Lockett takes a belt at the 5 and hangs on. The freshman wide out. It's first and goal. 24 more yards.
Well, here is Bishop. And it's a straight drop back, but again, he's got the ability to look over the entire field. You know, you just don't get that amount of time to throw on a 3-step drop. And 155-pound Aaron Lockett hangs on after the big hit.
Here's first and goal from the 5. There's that option. Bishop dips a little bit to the left. He won't get the touchdown. Squeezed out a yard, and there's a penalty flag. And there's a holding call, and it looks like it's going to go against K-State. Let's see, or is it... Oh, that's another huge penalty here.
This is just the way that the Aggies like it. They just kind of hang around and hang around. They don't get themselves beat. They wait for their opponents to make the mistakes. That was a good decision by Bishop not to pitch that ball, but it took so long to develop. There was holding on the outside.
Holding on the offense. It'll be a 10-yard penalty from the end of the run. Replay first down.
Yeah, the holding was called right at the end of the run. So from that spot, it comes back in the college game, the 10 yards. So it's going to come back to the just outside the 13-yard line, as Snyder tells Bishop what he wants done here inside of 2 minutes in the third quarter.
You know, Michael Bishop's probably more dangerous here than he is closer to the goal line. He's got a lot more room to let his receivers maneuver. Watch for him to try to get loose in the back of the end zone.
He has been able to free Justin Swift, the tight end, down here. Let's see what happens. Fires to Swift, got him, breaks a tackle, and Swift battles to the 4-yard line. It'll be second and goal from there. Just about any time they've wanted it, Swift has been open because of the spine on Bishop. The dangerous quarterback makes this man come open in the middle.
Yeah, and it's just a simple hook route, but the pass protection is fabulous. Look at that pass protection. Nobody within 6 yards of the quarterback. And then a good effort by the tight end Swift to get extra yards.
Now, K-State has favored the option from the 5-yard line in. They give Michael Bishop as much running room as possible. Brian Goolsby, the big fullback, now shifts over to the left, and there's only 4 seconds left on the 25-second clock. Quarterback draw. Bishop slips free, reaches end zone. Touchdown, Kansas State. No one since the days of Charlie Ward in Tallahassee has run the quarterback draw any better than Michael Bishop. An injured Wildcat lineman down at the 5, and it is Brian Hanley, their other guard.
You know what, Brett? He also audibled at the line of scrimmage, moved his fullback over to be the lead blocker for him, and then paid it off with the great effort to stretch across the line. It's great to have your offense pay off your defense. Here's the turnover that led to that touchdown. The good pressure by Howard, and then the tackle there and the recovery by K-State. after the Aggies can't get to it. McIntosh on top of it. Now watch as Bishop lets his fullback get ahead of him right there, Goolsby, and then the great effort by this great player.
A few miles closer to Tempe, Arizona. Hanley comes to the sideline. Michael Bishop doing what he does best. And it is 26-12. 40 seconds left in the third quarter. Gramatica again has not missed an extra point this season. Still hasn't. On the road to the title game at the Dr. Pepper Big 12 Championship. Timeout. Just a quarter away. And won't the Little Apple explode here? Not too far from St. Louis, Manhattan, Kansas, where the Wildcats of K-State under Bill Snyder are closing in at a crack at a national championship. And if they can hold on, as you see the numbers from the dangerous and exciting one, over a couple hundred yards, the ball on the tee for Gramatica. Parker back deep again. Drills it. Parker says, this time I will not gamble. And it'll come out on the 20-yard line for Brandon Stewart. Well, certainly, Dan, Brandon Stewart forced to replace Randy McCown today, but Stewart has held up well at that quarterback spot. You can't blame him for what's happened here. No, he's giving it his all. It's a real gutty performance. Remember, he's a senior, and he told me yesterday he never expected that he'd ever play again for A&M. But that shows you just how precarious the backup quarterback spot is. They always say you're just a heartbeat or one injury away from being the starting quarterback. First down and 10, and now the Aggies are in a hurry-up mode, playing catch-up against a fierce defense. Dante Hall, nowhere. Semino and Howard again. Darren Howard is only a junior. The final seconds tick away here on the third quarter, and Stewart will let the clock wind on down, and that'll bring it to an end. Michael Bishop, he's thrown for 2 touchdowns, and now he extends and runs for 1. K-State driving for a title. We'll be back after this message and word from our ABC stations. We start the final 15 minutes of regulation with Dan Fouts and Jack Arute. I'm Brent Musburger at the Dr. Pepper Big 12 Championship game in St. Louis. Kansas State 27, Texas A&M 12. Second down and 10 for the Aggies. And Brandon Stewart. Play fake. And then hit by Kelly and sacked at the 10-yard line for a loss of 10 yards. The all Big 12 linebacker rolls in, and this is the third Wildcat sack of the game.
There you see him, number 8. Comes in totally unblocked as he finds a hole in that offensive line and finishes off Stewart.
Third down and 17. You wonder what Coach Mike Stoops will do, and there he is. His brother Bob was the defensive coordinator at Florida and recently took the head coaching job at Oklahoma. Folks, don't be surprised if Mike doesn't follow Bob to Norman, or maybe even Steve Spurrier will call him and say, come on, we could use another Stoops down here in Gatorland. Stewart in a foot race, dipping deep. Got to throw this one and stop the clock. Did it out of bounds. Boy, you dip deep on this crew of wrecking crew. As a matter of fact, when we asked Coach Snyder, you did, Dan, why is his defense so good? This is what he had to say.
You play with great emotion. You expect defensive players to play with that kind of emotion, that kind of effort. And at the same time, you know, where you are at certain points in time are so instrumental in the success of the defense. You know, and one guy out of position is like a bottle unplugged. You know, you got a leak. And I think that as much as anything, it's just being responsible.
Well, there it is, and it's a great defense, and the strategy from Texas A&M is not to give Allen a chance to return a punt. So we take a break. 43-yard punt for Lechler, timeout. We are back, and David Allen gets a shot at tailback for Kansas State. So not getting an opportunity to run with the ball returning punts, so they put him in at tailback. And Rodriguez, who had checked in at that linebacking spot for the Aggies, stuffs him at the 48-yard line. Here we've got 13:30 left. 27-12. Kansas State on the road to the title game. And the man leading the way is carrying a pigskin right now. Jennings hanging on, and he is down. Bishop's daddy, Artis, he's a truck driver for a Pepsi distributor down in Texas. I know that's a competitor down there of our sponsor here today, but the Papa Artis and the family, they have driven 22 hours. They go back and forth from Texas. They go back and forth up to Manhattan. They watch all his games. He has another brother who plays up in a small school. I believe it's up in South Dakota. He, too, is not a quarterback, but the family's here in force. And he'll be going over to the Hula Bowl. That'll be his all-star appearance, I'm reminded. I'm sure he will enjoy Waikiki.
That's a tough drive for the family, though. I'll tell you what. Let's see if that truck driver make that drive.
Artis, get a submarine, my friend. Timeouts. 12:41 remaining here in the fourth quarter. It is 3rd down and 2 for Kansas State, and quarterback Michael Bishop snaps it off to Lockett, and Lockett is tackled short of the first down. Cedric Curry came off that corner with a fine play, forcing Kansas State to punt, and so James Garcia trots onto the field for the Wildcats. It's his first punt of the game. Here's a young man who did not get many punting opportunities this year because of this high-powered offense and the fact that Gramatica can nail so many long field goals for you.
This is only his 29th punt of the year.
Chris Taylor and Jason Webster go back deep.
Penalty flag.
And flag is thrown. The umpire is stepping in against the offensive line that time.
Dead ball. False start on the offense. It'll be a 5-yard penalty and remain 4th down.
Well, there are the yards this half. The Aggies fewer than 50, and Bishop and Kansas State with 152.
And the Aggies yards, they benefited from a couple of penalties against K-State's secondary. So they're not doing it quite as good as those numbers indicate.
Garcia's first punt is a good one. Good hang time on this, and the fair catch at the 22-yard line by Jason Webster. And a reminder that at the conclusion of the game, we'll select the Chevrolet Most Valuable Player from each team in a recognition of these athletes. Chevrolet will make a contribution to each school's general scholarship fund. Michael Bishop taking a breather right now.
You know, he's had 20 pass attempts. He was sacked twice, so that's pretty good balance from one player. 20 passes and 20 rushes.
Well, the Mike Stoops coach defense gets ready again against Brandon Stewart. Both of the cornerbacks, tight defense. They go one-on-one. Wide open as one slips, and there's Taylor. And it is Cooper who saves the touchdown. He comes off the angle from his safety position as Niesman slipped on the coverage, and Taylor wide open on the play for 35 yards.
And Niesman is falling down there. Remember, he's got a bad leg, but Taylor wide open here. He's had 3 big catches today for 85 yards. That was the easiest of the 3.
He slipped, and Cooper saves the day. Number 40, Jared Cooper, sophomore. First down and 10. Aggies trying to score a quick one. Stewart down the middle goes incomplete, and that time he overthrew Cole, and you know, it was kind of interesting when we talked to Mike Stoops about his goals here, Dan.
Well, you know, you got to stop the run. You got to cover the wide receivers. But I don't understand what this one is here, Brent. Find Max a home. Who's that?
Max is his fine German Shepherd, and he forgot. And so on Friday, he was frantic. He finally got a friend of his secretary to watch him. So he was telling me before the game, he said, we went a road trip. I was so involved, I forgot to let Max outside. He said, I came back home. Max had been outside for 18 hours. It had been raining. Max is sitting there looking at me like, dummy, where'd you go?
Well, I'm sure Max is watching.
Yeah, right, Max.
Loving every bit of it.
Things are going all right for your buddy. Here comes Stewart now. Slipped away beautifully from Howard. But now can't do anything with it as he is running out of bounds. And so, Jackaroo, it's kind of a dog day afternoon, my friend.
Well, Brent, the Aggies demand equal time. You know, their mascot is a K9 named Reveille. Reveille should be here on the sidelines, but believe it or not, he took ill just an hour before kickoff time. They rushed Reveille to a K9 hospital. The report from the SID's office is he's watching the game on his little K9 TV.
Oh, right. So we got Reveille down there. We got that. You know, that turf ball do it every time. You know?
I tell you, Jack Garrett, he's having a great day, isn't he? That's getting after it, Jack.
They're down at 11. Stewart, pump fake, back down to the middle and got Taylor again. Now, Taylor has been their big-time receiver today. That's a first down on a 14-yard gain at the 30-yard line. But the sophomore, Chris Taylor, 4 catches for 99 yards.
And only 11 on the year before today. But he's got great athletic ability. He's even taken a couple snaps from shotgun as a quarterback against Oklahoma earlier this year. But this is what he has been very valuable doing, finding spots in that secondary.
First down and 10. Dante Hall slips to the left and picks up about 5 yards. Kansas State will tell you when things are going your way, they're going your way. Second down and 5. Stewart incomplete. And it is now third down and 5 coming up as the officials do not blow the ball dead when Melsby's knee is on the ground. And now let's take you back to the Nebraska game. This situation with Eric Crouch, and watch Oaks, the linebacker, Travis Oaks. Watch the hand up by the face mask. No call on that play. Unbelievably, no call. Watch from this angle. And now they get a break down in the Orange Bowl today. Like I said, when you're good, you're also lucky. And there they snap it off to Derek Spiller for another first down. The tight end, 12 yards.
You got to give some credit now to this offensive line of A&M's. Because this is a quarterback that's basically working on guts and one leg in that pocket. He found his tight end over the middle there to convert that play.
First down and 10 for the driving Aggies here with 10:18. They trail by 15 points. Dante Hall is swallowed in the middle, and this will be second down and 10. And Dan, I remember against Texas, they were able to get Derek Spiller and Dan Campbell open a little bit down at the goal line. What is it that K-State's doing here that seems to be taking the tight end away close to the end zone for the Aggies?
Well, right now, the Aggies are using both Spiller and Campbell in the game. But what Campbell has been able to do is line up at the tight end position. He's getting jammed coming off the ball.
Second down and 10. Short drop, wants a fade, one-on-one. No, incomplete. It was Cole in the air over the corner on that side. Butler. And in and out of his hands for just a fraction of a second. It looked like Cole had a shot at this.
Well, Butler does a good job, though, staying with the receiver, grabbing his hand, and not playing ball. I tell you what, Brent, that's got to be pass interference. Never looked back for the ball, had both hands on the receiver. And when you're hot, right? Isn't that what you were talking about?
Exactly. Branch Rickey always said, luck is the residue of skill, my friends. Third down and 10. Brandon Stewart going right side high. Got it. Touchdown. Texas A&M. Leroy Hodge, the junior flanker, 13 yards for the score. And his first catch of the game is a big one for A&M.
Well, you got to get lucky sometimes, too. Watch the two wide receivers here. The ball is going to bounce out of the hands of Taylor, number 42, right here. Freeze it right there. Goes right over the top, and there is Hodge for the catch.
Now, this
did not bounce off of Taylor's hands. Went clean to the wide receiver.
Russell Bynum to attempt the extra point. And I guess I'm only puzzled by the sequencing that I've watched the Aggies do with their two-point conversions. But Slocum knows what he's doing. It was this catch for the score that has given the Aggies a life. It is Hodge off of Cooper for the score. Timeout. The Aggies are still in the Dr. Pepper Big 12 title game. Brandon Stewart to Leroy Hodge, and now tense for Kansas State. 9:20. They still lead it, but the lead is down to 8. A touchdown and a deuce could tie this one up, but the Aggies have to hold. Leckler drives it, and Niesman steps back at the 5-yard line, and here comes the corner for the Wildcats. Fumble! And I think the Wildcats jumped on it, but let's take a look. Let's wait for them now to jump into that pile.
Man, Niesman just ripped through the pile there.
Yes, they get it back.
Forgot something.
They got it back.
The ball stayed behind, and how lucky are the Wildcats to fall on this fumble. It looks like if he breaks through here with the ball, he might score. But the ball comes loose right there. And I think Niesman went back and got it. That's great hustle. What a great play by Niesman.
Leading by 8. 9:11 to go in regulation. David Allen stays in as running back. Allen again. Dat Win unloads on him at the numbers. And the Dr. Pepper Big 12 Championship on ABC, brought to you by Dr. Pepper and your local Dr. Pepper bottler. Dr. Pepper, this is taste. The Wide Track Grand Prix by Pontiac. Wider is better. Nicoderm CQ, the power to calm, the power to comfort, the power to help you quit. And Sears and the Sears National Champion Football Trophy. So Dat Win came into the game with 500 and adding to it with every hit, and he's relentless. He usually comes on strong late. Bishop rolls right, looks back down. Wants to throw the tight end screen in the other direction. Well blocked, and Swift wrestled down at the 39-yard line by Michael Jamison.
That was a beautifully designed throwback screen to the tight end. Here's the tight end on this side. Bishop rolls way out to the right, and then the throwback. Now watch when the tight end has the ball in his hands. There are only 2 Aggies out here, and 3 men to block him.
Leading by 8. 1st and 10. 3 wide receivers are off to Bishop's right. He and the guard conferring on the snap count. Now he makes sure the left side understands. He pulled out, and there's a penalty flag. It looked to me like Michael Bishop was pulling out early, but let's let the officials make the call.
Dead ball. False start on the offense. It'll be a 5-yard penalty remaining. 1st down.
That is the 9th penalty for 85 yards against Coach Snyder's team. And I'll tell you, one of the things that's affecting everybody today is pressure. Pressure. And Tennessee will feel it too tonight at some point. The heat is on for Kansas State and Tennessee. There's your season graphic. The number of yards versus a year ago. So it has been a problem. 1st down and 15. Big bucks at stake now. 1st down and 15. Once he set the screen, drops it off to Goolsby, the fullback screen, and he barges to the 40-yard line, but that'll still leave them in 2nd and long.
Great call by Mike Hankwitz, the defensive coordinator for the Aggies, as they send the nickel back, Michael Jameson, after the quarterback, and Jameson's speed just blew up that play. He forced Bishop to throw that screen sooner than he wanted to.
2nd and 10 from the 39.
Allen checks into the offense. He'll be a running back along with Goolsby, and now Allen goes back out.
That should be 12 men in the huddle.
I'd say.
That should be a penalty, and I think they're going to get away with it.
They did get away with it. 2nd down and 10. Here's Bishop. Left side too high, incomplete. 3rd down coming up at the 6:51 mark. And here comes an enormously important 3rd down call for K-State.
And again, Michael Bishop is picking himself off this AstroTurf. Watch this ball go a little bit high. You just never know how many hits a quarterback can take before he's affected, and the ball starts to stray on him just a bit. 2 plays in a row now. Bishop's had to pull himself up. That was Holdman. The seconds can't move fast enough for that man. 3rd down and 10. Lockett comes in motion, and Bishop will take it back. Step up. Can he run for the 10? No. Down at the 39-yard line. Bradley making the stop for the Aggies. And it's almost as if Bishop didn't trust his arm that time. Looking into a zone defense of the Aggies. Didn't like what he saw down the field, thought he could run for it, but Bradley showed great speed to wipe him out. Taylor and Webster back deep. Garcia punting again. Here's Taylor dribbling back to the 10 and cannot slip the cover man. Down at the 10-yard line, 90 yards away and trailing by 8. 5:58 to go. Timeout in St. Louis. And Texas A&M trying to spoil the party. A&M used 2 timeouts, Brent, in that 3rd quarter on offense when Brandon Stewart had trouble with the play selection. Coach Snyder stays close to his offense. He's over there with his quarterback. He knows how critical it is now, certainly, not to turn the ball over. His defense will try to get it back. The Aggies down by 8. And Stewart to the middle, got a completion. They bail him out as he does finally find the middle, and that is Spiller, the tight end for 26. Spiller caught a touchdown pass in this game last year against Nebraska. Watch him on the post route as the safeties. One comes up, and then right down the middle of the field, great pass by Stewart. Made sure he threw it to the tight end's body. Brandon Stewart, the senior. Transferred from Tennessee after losing out in the battle against Peyton Manning, and here he is trying to drive the Aggies, and the defensive back Cooper was on him. There's the penalty. That's 15. Well, no, it was inside that 10-yard zone, so it'll be at the spot, but it will be an automatic 1st down for the Aggies. Cooper a little too aggressive on that play, and there was no question about it. Well, Hodges, number 88, on the inside. He pushes off. Now Cooper grabs. Now Cooper slugs. And now Cooper comes over the back. There's only 3 penalties on that one play. Dan, that's the 10th penalty of the game and the 8th this half against the Wildcats. And when you go back, Brent, to what Bill Snyder told us yesterday, he said we can't have turnovers and we can't hurt ourselves with penalties. Knew what he was talking about as far as the penalties are concerned. R.C. Slocum trails it by 8. Needs a touchdown and the 2. 5:27 to go. Here's Stewart from the middle. Got it wide open again. And Spiller rolls inside the 20 to the 16-yard line. Butler finally bringing him down. And Spiller alone for 30
yards, and you've got to wonder somebody had to blow this coverage on him.
Well, it's a little play-action fake, and let's check it out to see just who did blow this coverage. Watch the good release to the outside. No help in the middle of the field as Hodge was going to the outside, to the right side of the field. Well, that's two big plays for Derek Spiller right down the middle.
If they were playing any kind of a zone, they didn't have a linebacker drop back deep into Spiller. The two kind of flared to the outside. And now Stewart got a wide open man here, and he hits him but low. Couldn't do anything with it. And that is Darren Brinkley, number 86, making his first grab.
Well, you just feel the confidence growing for A&M. And I go back to two different aspects. A quarterback playing hurt and an offensive lineman realizing they've got to work that much harder to give him time to throw.
So hold on, Tallahassee. The Aggies are driving right now, my friends. But remember, they're down 8. From the gun. Stewart got time, deflected beautifully on the coverage that time. They did not blow it, and Travis Oaks, the senior linebacker, able to knock it down.
Great play by Travis Oaks. He's playing with an injured groin and really is playing in pain and making a big play that time, as it looked like the back out of the backfield might have made a play there and being able to turn it up and get in the end zone. A little bit of a limp there for Travis Oaks.
Here's your 3rd down and 6. Dante Hall is the running back. 3 wide receivers, 2 to the left, and timeout. There was a substitution problem defensively, and the Wildcats call a timeout. And Coach Stoops is not going to be happy about this. So they use one of their 2 remaining timeouts. And if time permits, stay tuned for the Thrifty Car Rental postgame report. And of course, another reminder that right after this game, we will go to the SEC Championship presented by Dr. Pepper. Favored Tennessee against Mississippi State. And I hope Jackie Sherrill's running back is healthy and able to play tonight. Tennessee a big favorite in that game. A marvelous coaching job and a great performance by T. Martin and the rest of the Volunteers. And here the Aggies. One thing we found in the last couple of weeks, my friend, Aggies don't quit.
Never have and never will. That comeback they had last week against Texas was a great one. They just ran out of steam as their defense was on the field for 88 plays as opposed to 49 plays for the Aggie offense. So they just got worn out.
The entire defensive unit for Kansas State huddled over there at the 25, and now they break away and come down for 3rd and 6.
Did you see who else was in that huddle? Some guy named Michael Bishop getting in a few faces, making sure that his defense realizes how big this 3rd down play is.
Stewart to the huddle. 3rd down and 6. The ball at the 14-yard line. Dante Hall and 3 wideouts. Play fake and nothing doing. Sacked at the 25-yard line. Jeff Kelly. And Ben Lieber comes rolling through that time, number 52, and it was Lieber with the sack.
Watch him come on the sack, Brent, as you said. The play action fake, and Hall can't get over to make the block on Lieber. Second big play for Lieber today.
4th down and 16 with 3:42 to go. Trailing by 8. And Stewart. Short drop deflected. K-State ball. They're 3:26 away from playing for the championship as Damian McIntosh, number 77, deflects the forward pass.
sure, even if that ball is caught, Brent, that that's going to be enough for the first down. It was a quick slant pattern to the outside. One thing you want to check out right here is McIntosh, but Stewart is going to try and throw the slant route out here. Watch McIntosh at 6'4" get up and knock that ball away. I don't think that would have been complete, and if it had been complete, it wouldn't have picked up the first down.
Aggies with one timeout. Bishop will attempt to run down the 326, and he'll keep it right in his hands.
Michael Bishop, the ball carrier.
Bishop for 4 or 5 yards, and Cody on the tackle now.
Boy, and how valuable is it to have a guy like Bishop who can play in that shotgun, almost like a single wing, as we talked about earlier, and not worry about a handoff, not worrying about a pitch back or anything. Let him run the draw, let him run the counter play, maybe even roll him out on a sweep play.
2:57. Business in Manhattan, Kansas at a standstill. Everyone watching nervously now. Their team is closing in on a chance for a national championship. Bishop going to fire it under pressure. Got one-on-one. McDonald in the air. Reaches incomplete.
Well, I tell you what, Brent, that was a dangerous play by Michael Bishop. He got away with one there. Ball was flying around his body. And here's the end of the play. Rich Cody and McDonald with a great effort.
You know, ordinarily, I would have expected Kansas State to try to score late as much as they could, because one of the computer systems did have margin as far as winning and losing is concerned. But UCLA having lost, you don't want to gamble in this situation. What you want to try to do now is get a first down and run the clock out if you can.
Yeah.
But here is your play for the Aggies now, looking at a 3rd and 6. They've got a timeout left. They want the ball back. Want to force the punt. Bishop will try to run for it. Bishop, fumble! It is a first down. Aggies have got it. Bishop fumbles. Cornelius Anthony wraps it up.
Again, watch where the ball is, where Bishop is carrying the ball. He's on the draw play. There's Anthony. He misses him there. Here comes the shot from the side by Holdman, 43. And now Cornelius Anthony with his 4th fumble recovery of the year. Got one last week against Ricky Williams, but this one is huge. Gives him team one more chance.
The emotions of the sideline for Bishop. Now he is walking away. Staying far away from his teammates as Stewart comes back, goes one-on-one end zone, got Niesman incomplete. Penalty flag is thrown, and this could be offense. Let's find out. Taylor could be called for offensive interference is the call against Taylor on this play.
And it's a good play by Taylor, because Niesman had position and could have intercepted that ball very easily. If there was ever a good penalty, this is it.
Pass interference on the offense. It'll be a 15-yard penalty from the previous spot. Repeat, first down.
Snyder pacing the sideline, and Michael Bishop, who has walked a good 20 yards away from his teammates.
Great position by Niesman. He's got inside leverage on the receiver. Ball thrown to the inside. There's the pass interference on Taylor. Good play by both men.
Brings it back 15 yards all the way to midfield. First down for the Aggies. Stewart got one-on-one, goes low, caught at the 14-yard line. Matt Bumgardner makes his first catch of the game. 36 yards, and now 2:15 to go.
Man-to-man coverage this time is Deshaun Carter, number 35. Great throw by Stewart. Only Bumgardner can make this catch, and he gives it all.
And over on the far side, the man who fumbled with R.C. Slocum, trying to call the play that will score. Remember, Derek Spiller was able to get open. Parker checks in as an extra pass receiver. He'll come out to the short side. He's matched against Chapman, and Clements broke across the line of scrimmage, claiming he was pulled that time.
He's hoping that they see it his way. No way, Joe Bob.
Dead ball. Offside on the defense. It'll be a 5-yard penalty, and it remains first down.
The nerves are jangling as the penalties add up. That's the 11th of the game. 9 of the 11 this half against the Wildcats.
And Brent, go back to when K-State had the ball on offense the last time. On second down, Bishop threw that ball long instead of trying to run the clock out. And then on third down on a quarterback draw, he coughs it up after a big hit.
The wide side of the field will be the quarterback's left. It's a first down and 5 for the first down. Parker back to the short side. Stewart wants that corner on a fade, incomplete. Pulled the intended receiver, and Niesman blanketed him.
Niesman's having a great day. Remember, he missed 5 weeks with a thigh bruise. He's really jacked up, and he should be. He's making plays on probably the toughest play for a cornerback to make, and that's that fade route.
Bumgardner and Brinkley back in. Second down and 5. The ball on the Wildcats' 9-yard line. Into the slot goes Chris Taylor. And Dante dancing for no more than a yard before the door closes with Damian McIntosh, who has played a great football game in the interior of that defensive line today.
You know, and that's where that penalty against K-State hurts K-State. That allowed A&M to run that draw play on second down and 5. On second and 10, they probably wouldn't have run that play.
But remember, not only do the Aggies need a touchdown, they need the 2-point conversion on top of it. And here is your third and 5 from the 9-yard line. Short drop, got Parker, slant, got it, touchdown! 2 points away from a tie at the 105 mark of regulation.
That was the same play they tried to make on the last 2-point conversion try when Parker was stopped on the goal line by Lamar Chapman. This time he gets inside of the strong safety, Gerard Cooper, and gets in for the score.
So as you might expect, Texas A&M uses a timeout, and half the coaching staff greets the offense at the 23-yard line. With 1:05 to go and down by 2.
Well, you love to have this matchup. Your running back / wide receiver against a strong safety. Number 40 is Jared Cooper, and it's Sir Parker with the slant. Ball is thrown perfectly, again, into the body, so the receiver doesn't have to worry about being stretched out to make the catch and then getting the big hit.
So it has come down to a 2-point conversion for the Aggies with 1:05 remaining. And this was Coach Stoops upstairs. He thought for a second they had Parker defended. And now, can his defense stop the 2-point play?
Well, one thing the Aggies have done, Brent, is they place the ball in the far hash mark. That will give Stewart, a right-hander passer, to be able to roll out to his strong side and make a throw if they want to do that. But remember, against Texas, in a similar situation, they ran the option play and got in on Randy McCown's touchdown. Here's the big fumble by Michael Bishop. Last possession on a third down. He gets hit by Holdman, and the recovery by Anthony, and then here's the touchdown on the slant. Great play.
for 2 points to tie at the 105 mark. Parker stays in the game. Toombs is offset to the right, and Stewart's the quarterback. Hodge is in the slot, and now Parker will join him in motion. Stewart's got him in. He's got him. It's tied with 1:05 to go. But on that other sideline, ladies and gentlemen, do not forget Martin Gramatica. If there is an edge now in a tie game with a minute to go, it's the field goal kicker for K-State.
Here's Parker down into the flat. Watch the other receivers come inside and form a wall. This is a pick play. Sometimes it's called, sometimes it's not. Very little contact there. Good job by Parker, and a beautiful, soft, catchable pass by Brandon Stewart.
One more time, ladies and gentlemen, Aggies don't quit.
Right back at you.
Brandon Stewart, who has stepped in for the injured Randy McCown, leads the tying drive. And let us quickly go to John Saunders. John?
Brent, it's already been an unbelievable day in college football. It's going to get better. The SEC Championship presented by Dr. Pepper. James Johnson has declared him healthy. T. Martin has been just about perfect for Tennessee this year, looking to get to the Fiesta Bowl. That's coming up after you, Brent.
John, thank you very much. As Texas A&M puts 15 points on the board in the last 8:28, Leckler hammers one to Murphy, and Murphy going to bring it out from a couple of yards deep. 15 to the sideline and just short of that 20-yard line. Rich Cody coming downfield, making the stop, and now it is back to Michael Bishop after that costly fumble.
Brandon Stewart has had a fourth quarter of a lifetime, hitting 9 of 16, 185 yards, 2 touchdowns, and that 2-point conversion.
Inside of a minute in regulation. And Gramatica, knowing that it could come down to a long field goal attempt, if Bishop can somehow get the ball down to about the 40-yard line. Bishop down at the 21-yard line, and the seconds continue to tick away as he's short of the first down. Bradley, who's played very well as an outside linebacker, makes another stop for the Aggies.
Both teams, K-State only has 1 timeout remaining, and that just is a killer. They got to make a decision pretty soon whether to play just for the tie.
On 2nd and 8. Bishop fires incomplete. Lockett the intended receiver, and Cody the defender. At the top of the hour, the Trans World Dome in St. Louis, the Dr. Pepper Big 12 Championship. 27 seconds of regulation left, and we are tied at 27 between Kansas State and Texas A&M. A spot for a possible national championship on the line. Favored Kansas State, and Bishop rolling hard to the right. And now he will scramble for the first down, and the clock is stopped with 19 seconds to go.
Now Gramatica missed from 59 yards at the end of the first half, Brent, and he never really got a good rotation on the ball. It kind of knuckled on him a little bit. But from this point here, K-State would need to get about 35 yards to get him within 60 yards.
Otherwise, we will go to overtime, and if those of you watching are not completely familiar with the college game, it's not like the NFL. Both teams will handle the ball. It's not sudden death if we get there. Bishop, meanwhile, trying to end it here. Fires complete. Clock stops in the college game. McDonald, who has been a big play receiver, 14 seconds left, a 15-yard game, and now, ladies and gentlemen, another first down, and Gramatica can attempt one, and the clock will stop. Kansas State still has a timeout left up on the clock. Just short of midfield. They're going to stop the clock right now by spiking the ball. I guess I'm just a little bit surprised by that, but maybe they wanted to regroup on this play.
It cost them 2 seconds, and
maybe coach wanted to talk to Michael right now. It's about the only thing I can think of in that situation.
This reminds me a lot of A&M's game against Texas, Brent, when Major Applewhite led the Longhorns down the field for a game-winning field goal. The Aggies responded by rushing just 3 men at the quarterback, and Applewhite was able to pick them apart. Right now, as you said, all we need for Gramatica to get in range is one 10 to 15-yard pass.
Quick snap to Bishop, and a penalty flag is thrown on the play. Incomplete, but there is a penalty flag.
Aggies had 12 men on the field. I know they're famous for the 12th man, but not now.
Defensive coordinator talking to the head coach, and Snyder on the other side. Each yard is critical. And he's about to turn it over to a young man who left Argentina.
Illegal participation on the defense. 12 players on the field. It'll be a 15-yard penalty from the previous spot. Sufficient for a first down.
That is a killer. You are within range right now for Martin Gramatica. Left Argentina at the age of 9. They're at the 37-yard line. It would be a 54-yard attempt if he tries it and they don't pick up any more yardage. They have 8 seconds and 1 timeout. Snyder has to weigh what kind of a crack they will take to pick up more yardage. He does have the timeout, does not want to run the clock out. But if you get a first down, if you throw it to the sideline in the college game, the clock will stop. But you wonder how big a gamble and how close you want to get Martin. He's missed a 59-yarder here today. He has kicked a 65-yarder, the longest in the college game without a tee. And as soon as this one ends, of course, the SEC Championship presented by Dr. Pepper. Mississippi State against Tennessee. Kansas State trying to win this.
Brent, the officials made a mistake by marching off 15 yards on that penalty for having 12 men on the field against the Aggies. They've corrected it now. They've had a conference, and they said it should just be a 5-yard penalty.
Well, then they're going to have to move the football and respot it, friends. They had it all the way down. So remember, the young man was running off the field. So we are told that that will determine whether or not it's a 5 or a 15. Now, Snyder is trying to convince them that he was not yet off the field, obviously. And
the point is if the player had stayed on the field and played defense, then it would have been a 15-yard penalty. But he clearly was on his way to the bench. And there
I saw someone dashing off the field. To be perfectly honest, I thought he'd gotten to the sideline. But this is going to be a huge difference as far as Martin Gramatica is concerned by the time they sort this out. Well, it's been a tough year for the striped shirts in the NFL and the college game. Watch the bottom here of your screen, and let's see what we can pick up here, Dan.
All right. We're going to see 2 guys running onto the field.
There they are.
And then here comes one guy running off, and I'm not sure that's the guy. I saw somebody a little bit deeper in the secondary, Brent, that did not get off on time, but doesn't really matter what we saw, does it?
No, not now. Let's see. But what is important is where they're finally going to spot the ball. The referee has got to go upstairs and find out from the play-by-play, the person that's keeping track of down a distance, where the line of scrimmage was in this situation. That's what he's got to check. He's not going back for any instant replays, not taking a look at those fellas dashing off the field or anything. He wants to know where exactly the ball was so they can get the spot right. They've got it down at the 47-yard line right now.
But Brent, wouldn't you just subtract 10 from 15 and put the ball there? I mean, this isn't.
Yeah, but my background's officiating, you know. So
Well, I wasn't a math major, but I did pretty good in old arithmetic. Don't they know there's another ball game coming up today on Championship Saturday?
Day of decision. UCLA already upset, and a questionable call, we might add, at the end of that one. Second down.
Brent, I checked with the officials, and they tell me that it was the 12th player running off the field. Ergo, only 5 yards.
Second down and 5. The ball is at the 47-yard line now, and the flag comes down on the snap, and it was thrown before the snap. Bishop's body language showed you that the stoppage had come prior to the snap.
Dead ball, false start on the offense. It'll be a 5-yard penalty and remaining second down.
Tackle Ryan Young may have moved here.
There he is, number 76. And that's a move. That's one of the problems with the shotgun.
That is the 12th penalty against K-State for 105 yards. Now let's reset it for you. We're tied at 27. We've got 8 seconds of regulation. We've got 1 timeout. We have perhaps the longest leg in the college game, trying to get a shot for K-State. Bishop ropes it, incomplete. 3 seconds left on the clock. And we will go to overtime.
Well, they'd have to hit a 69-yarder or about there for Gramatica. Good coverage by Jason Webster on Darnell McDonald. The ball thrown just behind McDonald.
Here comes Gramatica. He's going to try it.
Why not? 3 seconds, the game will be over. Regulation will be over if he misses. Nothing to lose here unless the Aggies block it.
A 69-yarder without a tee. Martin Gramatica. Penalty flag. Penalty flag, and this kick was well short, as you can see. But there was a penalty flag.
Delay a game on the offense. 5-yard penalty.
And on delay a game, do they run off the final 3 and we go to overtime? Let's see how they handle this one.
No, the clock would not roll, so they're going to have to just kneel down now. Oh, what, you're going to try a 74-yarder, are we? And after that effort, I've got to question that 77-yarder that Snyder claims Gramatica hit in practice.
What?
Probably a lot more wind.
Yeah, you've been in Kansas. Might come across that plane. I don't know.
That's right, Toto. I've been to Kansas.
Sick, you know. 3 seconds left. Final play of regulation. Then we head to overtime. Unless. Here's Bishop. Sprinting out of trouble, going to throw it deep down the middle. Got his receivers clustered. Jump ball, loose cut, but over. Cut short of the goal line, but the game ends as Everett Burnett, a St. Louis youngster, pulls it down, but 2 yards short of glory.
Ball was thrown about 70 yards in the air, and it has a nice flutter to it. That gives his receivers a chance to get down under it. And what a great effort by Bishop and these 3 receivers of his.
That close. Overtime is next. John, thank you. And deadlocked at 27 as we go into the first overtime. Both teams will handle the ball. Remember, this is no sudden death in the college game, and the offense will begin on the opponent's 25-yard line. Then we repeat the process until a tie is broken, but starting in the 3rd overtime, teams must go for a 2-point conversion. And remember, earlier in the second half, Texas A&M went for a 2-point conversion and missed it. And how big is that tackle by Chapman now when you think about it, as Kansas State and the Aggies are deadlocked. 2 years ago here, as R.C. Slocum is down, it was a great upset by Texas. But look how close they come to pulling off the Hail Mary.
Well, Everett Burnett is number 83. He's going to make the catch. Watch number 5, Toya Jones, not go for the ball, but go for the man. He pushes Burnett back and saves a touchdown.
Both teams huddling. Michael Bishop, costly fumble in the fourth quarter, giving Brandon Stewart and the Aggies a chance, and the Aggies made the most of it.
They got 13 points off of 2 turnovers, and the penalties have just killed K-State. You know, they even took them out of field goal range for Gramatica.
And then we had those agonizing seconds when it looked like they were close enough, and the official said we made a mistake on the 12th man. And so Gramatica wondering what kind of an opportunity he still might encounter here in the championship game in St. Louis.
Brandon, doesn't get any better than UCLA going down and losing in the last minute.
Now the coin flip.
What's going on? It's got the same dollar. There's heads, there's tails. I'm going to know what you're going to call right now, and I drop it, we'll do it again. Tails. He's going to call tail, all right?
So the referee has not turned on his mic. That's a radio microphone there.
Tail.
And it looks like K-State may have won the flip, and if so, they'll go on defense, I suspect. That is what you normally do in the college game, is you see what your opponent is going to come up with. You want them to handle the ball first, so there certainly is nothing on you. But, you know, we've had some confusion with this crew already, so let's hold on.
Looks like the officials are telling the teams which side they should take.
So we'll be back with overtime after this word from our ABC stations.
Championship game, Tennessee forced the punt in their first possession. Mississippi State has the ball. That's coming up. But first, overtime in the Big 12. Brent.
So the first possession belongs to the Aggies. And again, they can score a touchdown, they can kick a field goal, and they can pick up a first down. They start at the 25-yard line. Brandon Stewart. Favored Kansas State. Trying for a stop. Stewart on first down. Once Cole incomplete. Second down and 10. Chris Cole was the intended receiver, and Stewart being hounded by the Wildcat D.
Yeah, Wildcat D, number 77, Damian McIntosh, all over the back of Stewart. He had no chance to get that ball down to a receiver who was in man-to-man coverage. You can't ask for anything more than that. Watch the hit after the play fake by Stewart. From the right side is number 77. No way that ball could be complete.
Second down and 10. Taylor slotted to the right of Stewart. Dante Hall, the running back for the Aggies. Fake, middle, got it. Spiller, first down at the 7-yard line. It's first and goal for the Aggies.
The tight end again. How many times today has Derek Spiller found the middle of the field wide open? He gets behind Kelly there, and that's a good job of pass protection and throwing the ball on the money by Stewart.
Darren Brinkley dashes in with the play for the Aggies. He will be a flanker out to the right. Cole is split to the left. First down and goal. Dante Hall on a cutback, slips through to the 3-yard line. Second down and goal inside the 5 for the Aggies.
That pass play guarantees A&M at least a shot at a field goal here.
Toombs, Hall, and Simpson all in the backfield. Simpson is over on the left wing. So this is a power-looking formation on second and goal. Dante slips through. Ball is loose. Kansas State goes to pick it up, but it's down. It is marked down by the linesman at the 2-yard line. They say that Hall was down and no fumble on the play, and it will be 3rd and goal from there. Regardless of what happens, Kansas State will get a possession.
Now, last time that the Aggies needed a rushing touchdown, they went with their big fullback, Jamar Toombs.
He is directly behind Stewart. Hall is offset. Simpson's on the right wing. Dante Hall dashes back, cuts, spins, twists, and he is stopped right at the goal line, just short of it. Lamar Chapman, number 1 in there.
And now, decision time on 4th down. Inches away from the end zone, behind Toombs, left side. Great effort by Dante Hall. He gets it down to a spot where RC wants to call timeout and think and talk about this huge play.
So we'll take a break and come back to the Dr. Pepper Big 12 Championship.
SEC Championship game. Brian Hazelwood looking to get Mississippi State on the board. He's a big reason they're there, but he misses this one of 38 yards. It's still scoreless. We'll get you there in a moment. Brent.
Back here, John, Russell Bynum will attempt the field goal. R.C. Slocum and the staff make the decision, attempting to put points on the board against Snyder and Kansas State right now. So Bynum with an 18-yarder. He is 2 of 2. You make no mistake about it. The one coach who's enjoying this much more than the other is Slocum, much more than Snyder. An underdog, nothing to lose. Snyder seeing a national championship chance perhaps evaporate here in St. Louis. Here's Russell Bynum. He's a sophomore, and
they didn't like the angle, Brent, so they took a delay of game to push him back. Now Snyder says, refuse it. Make him kick from that extreme angle.
Dead ball, delay on the offense. The penalties declined. Remains 4th down.
The chess match.
The punter, Leckler, the holder, led Nicky, the long snapper. And Bynum from 18 yards for the lead in overtime. And Bynum puts 3 on the board. Kansas State gets the ball. We'll take a break as overtime continues in St. Louis.
He's still scoreless. We'll keep you up to date, and we'll get you out there after overtime. Brent.
All right, John, and now it is Kansas State. They must tie to keep overtime going, or if they score a touchdown, they win. First down for Michael Bishop. Lockett's his motion receiver on the end around. Lockett sprints free, and Lockett pushed out of bounds, but it's a first down for K-State at the 14 as Cedric Curry pushes the speedy one out of bounds.
He runs a 4.25 40. Great handoff by Bishop. Look at this speed. 5'7", 155 pounds. You better be fast.
Now 14 yards away. Dan Quinn gets ready defensively. Hickson's the running back. Gets the call. Right side, barrels to the 6-yard line. And now K-State is 6 yards away from victory.
They have a lot of weapons to use, too. The speed of Lockett, that was a great call to start their overtime possession. Gave the whole team a feeling that we are not going to be stopped unless we get in the end zone.
Gavin Parise checks in, an extra wide receiver. Bishop has the play from Coach Snyder. Parise is off to the left. McDonald, the rangy one, to the right. Bishop collides with Hickson, and he's down. He is down at the 8-yard line, and it is third down from there.
Well, mix up in the backfield. Hickson is supposed to lead Bishop around the corner, but I think Bishop was a little anxious. Remember, Hickson's lining up 7 to 8 yards deep in the I formation. He's got to be a little more patient and let his blockers get out in front of him.
Gramatica does not want to attempt a field goal. He wants a touchdown here and a win. 3rd down and 4. The ball is at the 8-yard line, and the rangy one, McDonald, goes to the left side of the offensive formation. Bishop runs in that direction, and the door closes. He's short of the 1st down, and let's see now if Gramatica is called on to send this into a 2nd overtime. And here comes Gramatica. A successful field goal sends it into a 2nd overtime.
He's going to have the same type of extreme angle as Bynum just had.
It's 22 yards. Brandon Knowles, the long snapper, the punter. James Garcia, the holder. And we play on. And as they get ready for the 2nd OT, John Saunders, what's going on down in Atlanta, my friend?
Well, this thing is a bit of a surprise early. Mississippi State has been able to move the ball. It's been a bit of a struggle offensively for Tennessee. It is still scoreless. Now about 6 minutes left. Earlier today, you know, Miami knocked off UCLA. One unbeaten down and another one on the ropes right now. Brent.
Well, it's interesting what pressure and trying to get to the Tostitos Fiesta Bowl is doing to all these fellas around the country. And I suppose it'd be remarkable if all 3 of them lost today. I mean, it was incomprehensible when we were talking about it the other day. I guess off the top of my head that would send Florida State into Tempe against Ohio State, but I get way ahead of myself. I mean, this one is,
you know, let's give some credit to our buddy on the sidelines too, Jack Carruth. He had a feeling today that A&M could hang tough and perhaps pull off the upset of the day.
Well, you know, yesterday, Jack and I saw the same thing we saw here 2 years ago. Kansas State players came out, really didn't do much, kind of walked around. They were kind of enjoying themselves. The Aggies came out real quiet, went through kind of a walk-through drill, but they seemed to have their game face on already. Remember, they had lost their starting quarterback. And then I think one of the things that can happen in a situation like this is that when word spreads on the sideline that a team has been upset like UCLA and it affects you, I think it is natural sometimes for young men to let down. And the bench over there, K-State, they were celebrating and waving towels. Of course, you know, I'm probably jumping to conclusions because that's what happened. On the other side, the Aggies, and you cannot give them enough credit here today, they have been wonderful coming from behind again.
Well, R.C. talked about the character of the Aggies, and you, of course, said that Aggies don't quit. That's part of the character. You know, they had a very disappointing loss last time out when they lost to Texas after a great comeback, and then seeing Texas march down the field and win that game.
And of course now, because it's the 2nd overtime, for those of you not familiar with the college game, they rotate now, and the Aggies will be on defense, and it must be the Wildcats of Kansas State who will speak first here. So that rotates going into the 2nd overtime. So the last at bat, if you will, belongs to the Aggies of A&M. Michael Bishop from the shotgun. And it was that end around that set up that last field goal. And this time the inside handoff is to Hickson trying to stretch it out. And the Aggies slam him down to the turf at about the 18-yard line. So it's pick up about 6 or 7 yards. Cornelius Anthony finally brought him down.
It was almost as if Hickson was hiding in this big man's back pocket. Ryan Young, 6'6", 330 pounds. Watch as he blots out the daylight. You can't even see him. Holman's got no chance as 2 giants are blocking on him. And there's Hickson picking up a lot of yards.
Interesting that Brian Goolsby is on the field. They have used him occasionally as a pass receiver, the big fullback. Let's see if he is a protector for Bishop, or on 2nd down he's going to lead the way. Goolsby, Bishop, and Bishop has a 1st down for Kansas State inside the 15-yard line.
You know, that looks like a quarterback draw, but it's really not. All it is a counter play with Bishop, the tailback, following his fullback. Check it out right here, just following his fullback into the hole. This is the dimension that Michael Bishop has that no other quarterback I've seen in college football this year has.
He's rushed for 101 yards today and 28 carries. Michael Bishop. First down for the Wildcats. Our game is tied in the second overtime. Deadlocked at 30. First down. Hickson back in the game. Hickson across the 10-yard line to the 8 as Datwin trips him up.
And with UCLA's loss, now K-State has the longest winning streak in the country. And when they have a running back go over 100 yards rushing, as Michael Bishop just has, they've won 30 straight games.
What a day Datwin has had. 16 tackles for number 9. That's 516 on his career. Second down and 6. The ball's at the 9-yard line. 2 wideouts. Hickson is behind the fullback Goolsby. Here comes Hickson, cut left. Forced in, fine linebacking play, and then it was Brandon Jennings, the free safety, bringing him down, and it is third down now for K-State. Bishop conferring with Coach Snyder. The young quarterback from Willis, Texas. 46-1 as a starting quarterback going back to his 2-year career at Blinn Junior College. Unbeaten there. Since he's been at Kansas State, Snyder and the Wildcats have lost only once. Here's third down and 4. The ball's on the side against R.C. Slocum's Texas A&M Aggies. Short drop, fade, end zone, incomplete. The intended receiver was Darnell McDonald. And it has come to Grammatica time again. And Automatica trots onto the field.
Great coverage by Cedric Curry on McDonald. That's a good matchup. Curry is 6'2". McDonald goes about 6'3". Ball thrown a little bit too far to the outside.
A 25-yarder. The young man from Argentina who is 3 of 3. Played 1 year of high school football in Florida. Nails another one. And Kansas State goes ahead in the second overtime by 3. But Texas A&M will have the last series of downs. A touchdown, and they will upset Kansas State and go to either the Nokia Sugar Bowl or the FedEx Orange Bowl.
Looked like the snap was a little bit low. No, not bad. Actually, Garcia dropped it a bit, but he got it on its point. And when you do that, Grammatica is going to put it through.
And John Saunders, what's going on between Tennessee and Mississippi State, my friend?
Brent, not much right now. Both teams struggling a bit on offense. More of a surprise for Tennessee. There's about 3 minutes left now in the first quarter of the game. It remains scoreless. Let's get it back to you, Brent.
Dan, I guess there's no time for the thrifty Carmelo postgame report on this one, huh, my friend?
I think they're waiting to start scoring until we stop.
The Valvoline halftime report is coming up with John and Todd. First and 10 now. Touchdown wins it. Turnover, of course, would end it. And Kansas State calls a timeout. So we'll take a break here at the Trans World Dome in St. Louis, the Dr. Pepper Big 12 Championship. Did you ever think it would be so tough to get to Tempe, Arizona? But Kansas State's been battling throughout the afternoon because the Aggies won't quit. And now K-State up 33-30, second overtime. Brandon Stewart. Dante Hall, the running back. The toss play, well defended, and a loss on the play. K-State jumped the play. They were all over it. Ben Lieber, who has been playing much of the way here late instead of Jeff Kelly, doing a fine job.
We've talked a lot about Martin Grammatica in his range. Well, Russell Bynum has about half that range. His long of his career is only 43 yards. So the Aggies can't afford to lose any more yardage.
Second down and 12. Show blitz. Stewart got one-on-one, got pulled high, incomplete. No penalty, and it will be 3rd and 12 as Butler jumps the wide out.
Boy, this is great timing, though, by Cole. Watch as he waits to the last minute before going up. Ball's a little bit underthrown, but he almost comes away with this one. Perfect coverage by Jeremetrius Butler, too.
Toombs and Simpson now check in. The Aggies need yards and big time. This is 3rd and 12. They're not blessed with the strong-legged kicker. They trail it by a field goal. Stewart in the shotgun, and the right guard moved. That's going to cost them 5 more. Heimuli broke the snap count on the play.
Third down.
Now play selection becomes important, because if there's an incomplete pass now, then you're really stretching Bynum's range. He'd have to hit about a 49, 50-yarder here if the Aggies don't get anything on this play.
3rd down and 17. Stewart has a slot to his left, using Parker in motion, and Butler takes him. They'll look for Parker on a quick hit. Parker cuts back. 10, 5, end zone, out of bounds. Touchdown, touchdown, got it. Touchdown. The Aggies upset Kansas State. Sir Parker, and ladies and gentlemen, it was close down there in the corner. He was reaching for the pylon as they were pushing him out. As Texas A&M storms into the Nokia Sugar Bowl or the FedEx Orange Bowl. How do you like that? Jack Arute.
Well, Coach, can you describe the disappointment right now?
No, I really can't. I'm tremendously disappointed. All of our players are as well.
What about the character of this game? I mean, do you see one thing that maybe cost you the win?
Oh, I see a lot of things that
like what
prevented us from being able to win the ball game on both sides of the ball.
Like what, Coach?
Just a lot of things that we'll address with our football team.
Brent?
Well, Jack, one of the things he must address, the number of penalties, especially in the second half. Heartbreak. And here we are. Sir Parker slips out, Dan.
And he's on Jeremetrius Butler on the outside. Parker has caught 3 passes today for 2 touchdowns and a 2-point conversion. Great job. Look at the effort. Was he in?
That is so close in the corner. If he got it, it was the elbow that got the pylon. He is being backed out.
Coach, 8 days ago, you played a rivalry game and you lost. But you said what was most important was the Big 12 championship.
Well, I said these kids have great character and great hearts, and they showed it again today. I'm so proud of them.
When it got down to the final moments of regulation, the decision that you made, it turned out to be the right one.
Well, you just have to play the percentages. Sometimes they're right, sometimes they're not. We're fortunate they're right today.
Go celebrate.
We're going to. Thank you.
Well, congratulations to Texas A&M. But Dan Fouts, I want to see this down in the corner. Let's start with the all-22 on this.
Well, here's Parker against the corner on the outside. Great speed to get by Butler. This is really a question, though. He stiff arms Chapman there. And they must have said that the ball broke the plane before his right leg is out of bounds. Here it is.
Watch
one more
now
time.
the right leg. And the elbow hits the pylon. But which came first? Out of bounds or the pylon? You be the official. I think he was out of bounds, but they still would have had a 1st and goal from the 1-yard line. Let's put it in perspective. Even if it was a bad call, it would have been 1st and goal for Texas A&M. When I saw it live, I didn't think there was any chance he was in the end zone. The official who made the call was backing up on the play. And there are our players of this double overtime heartbreaker for Kansas State. The winning touchdown. Sir Parker slips out. The Aggies get the call. And it's Heartbreak Hotel for Kansas State. So long, everybody.